Coin drop. Screen flash. The high score. Boss laugh.
Thumb sore, same fight. Lost track of the time all night. Snacks gone, eyes red. Still shouting one more instead. Distracted gamers, press start. Button mashing from the heart. Round one, game on. We get hit, go harder. Distracted gamers, press start.
Oh no, it's a podcast. Why do I have the board?
Oh my god, it's arrived.
So as I was saying, I stood up and turned around because you got to see the product you make. And when you know it, it looks like Joey Buttafuoco. Blew my mind.
Oh my lord.
Oh no, podcast. How'd you get in here?
Oh my god. This is a private conversation.
As I cover myself with a towel, coquettishly.
Very coquettishly.
Oh. I
You
thought
might
that door
even
was locked.
swoon or get the vapors.
You didn't catch me with another podcast.
No, you're a one podcast kind of girl.
I've got to go lay down on my fainting couch.
I tell you, she meant nothing to me.
It was just a quick thing while I mowed the lawn. It was nothing.
The greatest podcast in the world.
Truly.
Try and fact check us on that, losers.
Trick question, you can't.
You're incapable of it. That's
Idiots.
right. Because Grok doesn't understand greatest. I like how people have just leaned on Grok now for information.
Grok, is this true? Grok, please tell me, is it real? I need to know.
My ability to understand actual information. I'm running into the problem of, like, I'm getting stuff shared from mom and stuff, and I'm like, that's not real.
Yeah.
Even though it looks really good, you have to look for context clues, like a massive pile-up accident with multiple cars, but it's like none of them are damaged.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks really good.
The war of information is going to be horrifying.
We'll
Wait a
never
minute.
know what's true.
Does that guy
anymore.
have 3 hands?
No, it's so much better now that it's scary.
That's
I can't
true.
tell.
I still find that every once in a while, you'll find like an extra number of fingers, or there will be a hand that's. It's like they tried to move the hand to another place on the image. No, I want instead of on the hip, I want the hand on the shoulder, and they leave like a trace of the hand down at the hip, and then put it on. Yeah,
You got
It's-
fingers
it's-
fused into their
you are
hip.
right. It is getting harder to see, but
Well, I haven't seen any of the finger problems at all anymore with the stuff I'm running into. A lot of it now is just context clues. Like,
Oh, yeah.
this lady's beating on the door to get inside her house because she's screaming that someone's coming to kill her or whatever, and a cat jumps out, and then the bear comes to attack, and you're like, this didn't happen. Even though it looks perfect, this didn't happen.
This is not real.
And it even gets like the video accuracy, like the graininess of like a handheld camera or doorbell camera
Yep.
or whatever.
Which is wild.
Where it's like, no, it even understands, like, filters be damned. Everything works exactly how it's supposed to.
This is horrifying.
I wonder how you buy anything that's true anymore. I mean, it's not that people don't act. No?
All
I can
right.
hear you.
So
Well-
much better.
Well, Jason, if you could hear me,
Yes.
why didn't you say anything instead of awkwardly sit there quietly?
No, the thing is that I could hear you all robot-y like Ross, and when you asked, "Can I hear you?" it suddenly was clear. That was when Ross, right when he dropped the audio and came back in.
Yeah, sounds like the human version of misinformation.
Truly, the belle of the ball.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stuff to discuss in this podcast. If you haven't joined us already, we're going to talk about the Oscars.
Ooh.
I have a rant in there. We're going to talk about the Spider-Man. I have things to say. Dune. I have things to say. And maybe we'll go down the questioning the state of the world and what the future holds for the survival of the movie industry as well. There's a lot of stuff to get to. And no Silver, but let's be honest, she's practically not here when she is.
She's dragging us down with her bad attitude. She's a diva backstage.
She's very
Yells at
demanding.
us if there's not just green M&Ms. If there's one brown M&M, you'll hear about it.
We went, what was it? We found ourselves out in the middle of the night trying to find a wine glass full of brown M&Ms. Or Silver wouldn't go on stage that night.
Very important.
Thus, we broke into a candy shop in the middle of the night, and lo and behold, we ran into the shopkeeper and his son. Now, that's the story for another day. But unfortunately, I did have to beat them to death with my shoes.
Oh my god.
Needless to say, we got on the podcast, and Silver said very little, like usual.
You know how it is.
So the Oscars happened.
They did.
I find every time we go down these topics, I have to do sort of a retread, like we always seem to do. Like, if you ever do any sort of persuasive writing, to some degree, you have to talk to people like they don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you almost have to start square one. And obviously, since we're the greatest podcast, but one of the smallest podcasts on the internet, every time somebody runs into this podcast, you're inevitably going to run into the issue of they don't know where your biases might lie or what your standard position is. So to some degree, I almost have to preempt everything with a bit of a persuasive explanation as to what we're looking at. To a random viewer of movies and celebrities, you might think movies are great and everything's going fine, but they're not. You might not be aware,
Really?
but there's been a massive downtrend of attendance when it comes to movie attendance, people watching movies, a massive downturn to a lot of streaming services, a lot less interest in the movie industry. Movies are not doing very well compared to 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to, and we'll go over the numbers, but compared to previous Oscars, if you don't count the pandemic, this is the worst Oscars as far as attendance.
Wow.
Now, there used to be a love affair in America or even the world when it comes to celebrity and the movie industry.
Yeah, very true.
We loved everything. We wanted to hear everything. Access Hollywood is closing down.
Oh,
Wow.
oh my god.
Because no one cares anymore. And there are a lot of different reasons for that. The downfall of the movie industry, less interest, blah, blah, blah. Movies are worse. They're written poorly.
Social
Political, social media, lower attention spans. There's a myriad of reasons as to why we're moving in the direction we're going. The Oscars used to be one of the biggest things in town. We've discussed this last year. I think the height of the Oscars when the Titanic won. I think it was something like 57 million viewers.
Yeah, it was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was, what, 97?
97, 96, something like that. This year, what did we do? 17, 16? There's
Yeah, I think it was 17 million.
there's a dramatic difference between the two. And obviously stuff changes. And it's funny because when you talk about the damaged reputation that Hollywood has, a lot of people get annoyed or upset and they're like, well, it's this or it's that. And if you take a long-term view, as I tend to do, because I much like an insane person, spend way too much time looking at history, and movies have not existed that long. And it might sound
Right.
insane to say, but are movies going to exist in the same format or at all in the same way we view that into the future? Like, I don't know.
Mm.
Because they act like, well, it's always been like this. And it's like, we haven't
Well,
had
it's been
movies
like
that
the,
long.
what, the 1920s?
Yeah, I mean that they had the moving pictures very, very early, but as
Yeah.
far as movies being a
I
regular
mean,
thing,
it's barely been 100 years.
Yeah, the
So-
studios
even
were all
then,
forming in the
the-
teens, and then the 20s is when they got big.
And even then, the movies, when they were originally conceived, they were consumed in a much different way than we consume them even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Obviously, we're getting a new paradigm right now because of all the reasons that you've listed off. And we're still seeing how that's going to be impacting movies and what we're going to be seeing in the future. But movies, even from the beginning, have undergone evolution and change. So they can't even say that it's always been this way, because silent films, they originally had somebody in there that was physically playing music while they were watching the movie, because there was no audio at all. And then they introduced the talkies, and so then you actually had that ability, so you got a shift then. You used to have to actually have somebody in the booth, and they were specifically trained to turn the crank at just the right speed to show the movie appropriately. And then you had automatic projectors that didn't need any of that stuff. And now we've gone even past that. We have digital projectors that don't even need film.
and it's funny to hear people lament about the state of the film industry.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's so important. And it's like, it can
Yeah.
be, is it? Like any
Well, it's one
form
of
of
those things that-
entertainment.
If we weren't so turned off by the film industry, maybe we would be lamenting it too. But we've kind of looked at the film industry and said it can't come fast enough.
Well,
In
and part of the
some ways.
problem
Go ahead, Ross.
for me is because, like Rhett, I am kind of a history guy as well. And the history of Hollywood is very interesting. It's a very fascinating thing to look into, both the early days and then the big switch when TV came around, all the way up until 90s and the 2000s. It's a really fascinating place to look at and to see the relationships as far as the studios, the producers, the CEOs, all this. I mean, it's the actors, unions. It's a very interesting landscape. The problem is when I think back, like, oh man, Hollywood's going away, I don't think about the one right now. I don't think of it as it is. I think of it as it was, which it's already gone. That does not exist anymore.
Very true.
That Hollywood is no longer here. And it's sad to know. It's sad to think, but the reality is the one I think of, even the late version that I think of with some sort of wistful and positive view, it doesn't exist now. It's gone already.
And it's funny because we're going to talk about the Oscars, because believe it or not, as much as I hate the movie industry and I hate actors and I think they're just degenerates and pathetic losers, I also really love movies. I enjoy movies. And I want good movies. But the problem is they've been so antagonistic towards their audience that we found ourselves actively hating, if not cheering on their demise, because we just don't care about them anymore. Like, celebrities were kind of a distance. They were separate from us. You had so little information. They were larger than life. My grandma has a story, and I don't recall who she was, but famously, when she was a little girl, they had a real famous celebrity at the time come to town. And as little girls, the psychopaths that they were, and the obsession around, like, gathering around the celebrity, like, outside the local theater or whatever, her and her friend stuck it behind her and cut off a piece of her hair and ran away.
Crazy.
And so it's like, there was this obsessive attachment because they're on the big screen and whatnot. And I think a lot of things like social media and exposure demystified the idea of celebrity, made them so much more human and a lot less likable, because now they can speak their minds, and a lot of the time they have, not that they're not allowed to, but strong political opinions that now sort of distance themselves from their audiences. And as we've seen more and more award shows, we're getting exposed to more and more aggressive political opinion, where they feel like it's their obligation to go up there and say things, which I don't blame them. If you feel strongly that something's happening and you feel like it's your responsibility to bring awareness to it, sure. I'm just saying, you're just going to piss off all of the people who disagree with you. Now, suddenly you've become this contrast Rachel Zegler figure, where you're now just damaging the movies you're in by your reputation alone, because you're aggressively outspoken about your political position. And so and the people are going, I don't want to see Snow White because I hate her.
Yeah, and you know, this Oscars has been no different. And the thing for me that's so eye rolling is it's all the same stuff we've heard already, whether from them or from, you know, other activists out in the world, you know, protests or whatever, social media campaigns. It's all the same stuff. It's funny. I saw an article in preparation for this that they were like mentioning all the political moments of the Oscars. This is in a more positive light, is how they view it. And one of them that they include is so funny to me because it's so not in a bad way, but like basic. Like, this isn't, I would say this is not a political take. And it was when Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor Oscar for his role as the twins in Sinners. And he gets up and here's the quote. Quote, "I stand here because of the people who came before me, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith." He said, adding that he was honored to, quote, "be amongst those giants," unquote. How is that political? Sorry, I just wanted to... That is just such a nice, typical speech.
It's lovely.
But
Nice.
yeah, like, I don't know. But all this other... I mean, there's like... Go ahead.
I can see how somebody could construe that as being political because he doesn't mention any white actors. They're all black.
Well,
and
I think
are kind of charged
you're reading
political
into it the
context.
implication that he wouldn't be considered for an Oscar if it hadn't been for those that came before. I'm not mad at the lovely thought of the Trailblazers. I would say that no
is
one's
one of the...
keeping you back today. So it's weird to
Right.
holler back to, well, I've broken the glass ceiling that isn't really a thing now.
For the 6th, 7th time.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, all these other ones this year have been like Free Palestine. Yeah, we've not heard that in the last 3 years. You know, it's just typical stuff like, you know, no war, no to war. Really? Oh, wow. You know, I thought war was a good thing. Oh,
Yay,
never mind.
war. I always want to be that contradictory person. Woo. More conflict.
Actually,
World War III
it's
tomorrow.
great. Yeah. Ugh.
Let's do it, everybody.
And I think
Let's
that's
Kessel
probably some of the
run
bigger
the
problems.
Strait of Hormuz.
Is that it's all these political takes that the wine ant has on Facebook. And it's like, wow, truly daring.
Well, let's at least start into this.
Sure.
Freaking ad. So to begin with, the Oscars are down 9% from last year. Now, I don't consider this surprising, considering the slow degradation of the reputation of Hollywood and the whether or not
right.
we give a crap in any way whatsoever of what they have to say or what their opinions are. And so it's not surprising. I would venture to say that there's also another major factor, and that's the films that came out this year. Now you might go, well, Red,
Yeah, very much
just
so.
because you don't like the movies doesn't mean that that everything was bad just because they weren't for you. Okay, so the big winner of the night is One Battle After Another that won several awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Sinners, which was nominated for the most Oscars of all time, nominated for 16 of all time, won 4.
Which is probably more reasonable.
Which is more reasonable for that picture. Me and Ross reviewed Sinners. We both liked it and had massive problems with it.
Yeah, it's not a perfect film. It's if you like horror or even historical kind of like setting, it might be worth your time. It's certainly enjoyable. It's a fun film if nothing else. It has some script issues.
There are parts that are really stupid.
Incredibly, and the pacing is just weird. Once you get near the end, like the last third of the movie is just really it feels messy. You know, it's not tidy in any way.
Sinners, of the movies that came out this year, Sinners actually did pretty well in the box office, which
Yep.
good for it. It was at least kind of fun. I know a lot of people are like, well, it was mid and stuff. Mid to good is where I would sit it. I wasn't angry about
No.
seeing it.
Yeah.
A lot of people's reaction to Michael B. Jordan when it's like, well, he wasn't that great and stuff. Of all of the things I've seen of Michael B. Jordan I think this was his best. And I actually quite liked his role. He played very contrastingly different characters as
Yeah.
the two brothers. I thought he was actually quite good. Now, you might not, well, he's not dramatic and over the top. He's like, no, it felt very period accurate for the two guys he was playing.
Yeah, and they were interesting. You know, he played them differently, and he was good. He was fun to watch on screen.
I know there was I haven't seen all of the Oscars, and I'm not inclined to review movies I haven't seen. But there was a lot of people saying that Timothée Chalamet probably should have won it because he was a lot better. I can't see that for certain.
Yeah,
Chalamet
I
has a
Marty.
weird beef with Hollywood at the moment,
Yeah,
which is confusing and strange. I don't know if you really want to get into that now, or should we finish our Oscar conversation of who won what?
it's up to you. However you want to roll it.
Let's set that to the side for 1 second.
Okay.
But One Battle After Another was our big winner. They added some. What did they add? Like one new Oscar this year, which is Best Casting Director.
Yeah, that was the one.
That seems dumb.
Well, on one hand, I get it. Like, I don't know. Like, on one hand, I get it. It's just really funny that it's now. Here at the end of all things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Of all the timing, it's like, really? It couldn't have been in the 70s? Or the 90s? Or
Apparently,
like 2009?
I kept thinking this was the final Oscars for network television. Apparently, it's going to YouTube in 2029. So if this is the final for network television, I don't know what it's going to do in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Not that I care.
Really? Yeah, because I thought this was the last one. That's funny.
But I just saw an article today that
Oh.
said it was coming to YouTube in 2029.
You know what it is?
Oh.
It's the 100th in 2028.
So they're going to drag it out to
When they have 5 million viewers,
after 100.
that one will be a bump just purely for that. How big of a bump? I don't know.
Let's find out. Well, one battle after another came out. One battle after another. How do
A huge box office hit, right?
No.
Oh. What?
And that's what's so weird or strange about one battle after another. So this movie. So here's the problem I have. Let's say this is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's a really good movie. Really well made, amazing. All of the reports I hear is it's not. But let's say it is.
Mm-hmm.
By its very nature, being a hyper-political film, you are immediately restricting your audience interests or even likability. You can theoretically make a movie about a topic I hate, and I ain't going to watch it, not because it's not good, but because I hate it. Because I disagree with everything in the film. And in a hyper-politicized world that we find ourselves in, this movie is hyper-commentary on immigration, where they're pretty much terrorists attacking American like facilities over immigration issue. It's very, I mean, it's a charged term, woke, if you will. It is hyper in that direction. Is it good? Hollywood seems to think so. Gave it Best Picture. Best Picture, which lost money this year. It did $70 million domestically.
Oh, God.
44 its opening weekend.
Now, to be
Globally,
honest,
it was like 130, so I think it ended up 200. Go ahead, Jason.
well, to be honest, I would say that the amount of money you make on a movie doesn't necessarily directly correlate to the quality of the acting and the story and
That's
everything.
not the point I'm trying to
Like
make.
you said, I was just saying that it could still be a great movie, regardless of how much money.
That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is this is how disconnected Hollywood is from general audiences. They come out with a hyperly divisive political movie, guaranteeing a huge chunk of the audience is not going to be interested. It comes out and does poorly and likely projected to lose $100 million theatrically.
Holy
And
cow.
this is the movie you pick for Best Picture. There's been criticism for years and years when somebody wins Best Picture, and for some reason every year the Best Picture is not the most successful or the most loved movie that year. It's not the biggest blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like, wow, they're so disconnected from audiences and stuff. We're now to the point where they're picking the greatest movie of the year as a movie that lost money.
Yeah.
Lost money. That's so
Yep.
disconnected from its audience that they're actively angering at least half the country, if not more. People actively hate this movie because it has a heavy political stance. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. But this should tell you the position we're in with Hollywood. If you want to be a part of the normal zeitgeist of pop culture, if you want to stay relevant, if you want movies to be good, if you want people to watch your damn films, why on earth are you doing this? It's like that Pokemon meme. It hurt itself in its own confusion. They are more interested in posturing to the people around them in the hyper left-wing part of Hollywood because of the insular group that just high five and all agree with each other, and then sit there baffled, confused, why no one is interested in the movies they're making. I don't understand why no one's going to the theater. I don't get why we can't connect with audiences. And then they make the greatest movie of the year, a movie that is actively angering a huge portion of their population politically. And they don't understand why Hollywood's doing poorly. It's so enraging that we find ourselves into this position where they sit there confused. It's like, we can't get people to the theater. Well, this is your damn fault. It's not mine.
Yeah.
It's because you actively are looking around and going, we hate you. We hate everything about you. We hate people that we desperately want their money. We also hate them and think they're shitty plebeians who know nothing about real art. So we're going to raise up movies that have zero interest or connection with general audiences. And here's the position we're in. $100 million failure that's the greatest picture this year. That is an active propaganda piece for one side of political opinion. I would say this if it was a MAGA movie, and that the whole I would be like, this is a bad decision. People are going to look on this poorly. They're going to look like you're disconnected from the people who disagree with you, and you're raising it up in your big celebratory once a year thing. If you, and then they sit there and they talk about, oh, America's so divided. You are dividing it. You are part of the problem. You are actively angering everybody and putting everybody at each other's throats. At some point, we have to have some sort of common culture in common. Why on earth are we finding ourselves in, well, we just can't find, ways to connect. We used to watch the same movies. We used to watch the same sports. We would listen to the same music. We'd find ways to disagree with each other. We don't even watch the same movies anymore. Nobody watches the same damn thing. And somehow you're confused. I am so annoyed at Hollywood and the strange position they seem to find themselves. Well, what on earth do you think you're doing? Well, was this the best idea to just sit there and pander and belittle other people? You get your Oscars, and the best idea is to sit there and be like, oh, suck a big one, losers. Our politics is better than your politics. Whatever. Oh, no one likes it.
I know what they're trying. I think I know what they're trying to do. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to, and we've mentioned this before as well. They're trying to direct the course of society. They're trying to bring society around to their way of thinking, and they're doing it through the medium of film. And they're just expecting, because we are artists, and art is there to push boundaries and to make people feel, and all those really stupid art cliches that always get tossed around, and because they're famous and they're letting that fame go to their heads, and they're thinking that they know better because because they're famous. That doesn't make any sense to me, but it's like, we know better than you what is good for you because we're famous and making movies. And so they're surprised when there's any type of pushback. It's like, no, you need to be following what we're telling you because we know better than you. And when people say, no, you're full of it and you're up your own butts, they just can't handle it. But they still are trying to do it.
Silver has entered the chat, encouraging my rage and unhappiness. Thank you. I will name my future heart attacks after you, Silver. It's just the inflated sense of self-importance. Remember when we reviewed? It was that he was on the Friday Night Tights. He was talking the actor.
Oh, from Shazam.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was talking about
yeah.
how he loved movies and how he needed to
Zachary
do
Levi?
Zachary Levi, and it was like, once again, he's overinflating his industry's importance.
Yeah.
There is a theoretical future where movies don't exist, and you're actively digging its grave.
Mm. Yeah, and it's just so fascinating because we've reached a point where, because Rhett, you and I were talking earlier today, and I was kind of going back looking at some of the Best Picture nominees, because for a long time there's always been this idea that, and it bore out a lot of the time, that the movies that win Best Picture are not the popular ones necessarily. Sometimes they are,
Right.
but not necessarily. So I was going back and looking at the nominees and some of the winners. And up until the teens, at least the nominees and the winners would make money. They didn't make a lot of money, per se. You know, they weren't $800 million films, but
Right.
they made money, and often comfortably so, quite comfortably so. I mean, they still broke $100 million, some of them $200 million very easily. And these are very artsy-fartsy drama films, right? And I was thinking back to the one that the one I remember, the two I remember most recently with the biggest heat on them from people is Parasite and The Shape of Water, right? Well, Parasite had a budget of like 11 million and made 258, and Shape of Water had a budget of about 20 million and made 195. I mean, Jesus, the movie about fucking a fish man made almost $200 million. What are we doing?
One battle after another. They don't have a definite number, but it's 300 plus.
That's presumably with advertising, or
No.
what? Oh my god. It's super lost money, because even if you go by what they report on Wikipedia, which is like 150 to 175, if you include advertising, it did not make money. But with that number, there's no fucking way.
Who knows what the real number is?
Yeah.
But if they lost 100 million and they earned 2, that's the most basic of math that we can do. And then inevitably these numbers are always bigger. It's always more than that, and we never really get the honest. And this is the quality of film we're looking at today. This is
the lack of it.
The greatest film of 2025. This movie.
Yeah. And these movies have less competition than ever, by the way.
Yeah.
As far as in the theater.
You look at the active, like, I mean, look at the numbers of the money brought in for 2025. It wasn't very good.
Mm-mm. Yeah, wasn't it down from the strike era?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. It's insane. When they couldn't work, they've made less money now.
And we're all sitting there going, well, why didn't we do well? What is happening? I don't understand, Ross. Don't people watch movies? Are we not connecting with the youth? Let's make a movie about being terrorists and glamorize it.
Yeah.
This will succeed.
And let's choose to have a strike right after the world shut down and we couldn't work. And
great decision.
Yeah. By the way, we might have another one. Right
Good
now,
job.
like soon.
Not only are we striking so much, our employees for the Actors Guild are striking.
Or was it the Writers Union?
The Writers Union.
Yeah.
Literally, Hollywood is eating itself like the Ouroboros.
Yep.
Its self-destruction will result in nothing. All dead.
A big pile of poo in Californian mountains.
It's funny when Top Gun Maverick came out. There's a clip you could see of Tom Cruise outside the premiere, and Steven Spielberg goes over and hugs him, And he's like, and he basically thanks him for saving the movie industry. Steven Spielberg, not long around there, made West Side Story, where half of the movie you couldn't understand because it was all Spanish.
Yeah. Good
And
choice.
you're like, oh, thanks for saving the movie industry. West Side Story is an easy win.
It should be.
Oh yeah.
I wanted
Classic
to see it because
American
I
story.
really like West Side Story.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to see it when they smugly said, well, part of it's going to be in Spanish, so whatever. And then it's like, well, why? Because you should learn Spanish
well-
because it's like the experience of trying to, like they don't know English. Or it's
Yeah,
like,
we-
yeah, but they
we
speak
should
English in the
clarify-
movie.
Yeah, we should clarify Spanish with no subtitles.
Yeah. Spanish with no subtitle, which is weird because when they show it in Germany, it's in subtitles because Germans don't understand Spanish or English. So all of it's in subtitles. But the Americans don't get Spanish subtitles because of some political message he wants to get a point across. The movie does abysmally and loses money. Oh, how could that happen? What a shock! I
Very
don't
shocking.
understand. What's going on, Ross?
It's almost like we've lost the audience and we are doing nothing to earn them back on the whole.
And you know, it's funny. What's the adage in business? It's 10 times more expensive to get a new customer than it is to retain a customer. And
Yeah.
you're losing customers and they are not returning.
No. No, they are not.
And they don't view what they do like a business. Like
No.
they're trying to earn money.
They're artists.
They view it like they're trying to burn money. I mean, look at Maggie Gyllenhaal's movie. How she
yeah,
made
yeah.
the point of it's dangerous when women get a lot of money. And it's like, well, you're saying that like the success is irrelevant. Look at what I can do with all of this money. Look at the messages I can send. And it's like, at some point you should be like, we're going to use the money we have to make as successful a film as we can. It was funny. She made a statement recently where she said that this is the story Mary Shelley couldn't tell that she always wanted to. And it's like, Frankenstein was her first film. She made like 4 or 5 other movies after that. Or 4 or 5 other books. I'm sorry. She didn't make movies. And it's like, she could have told a sequel if she wanted to.
Yeah.
She didn't, because she said what she had to do. Like, stop trying to read into what she wanted or her intentions. She lived well over 100 years. Was it 100 plus?
Yeah, she was 18, 20s?
She so 200 years ago,
Mm.
you act like she would have had the political positions that you do and would have carried the same opinions that you. She didn't.
Correct.
And she
Oh.
didn't. So,
Oh.
okay, that's not the movie she wanted to say.
But
Silver
imagine
shows
if she
in,
did.
I have a lot of money. I am dangerous. Your spelling's dangerous, Silver. Oh!
Oh.
Take that, loser. This is what you get for not being in the podcast and being outside of it and trying to be responsible as an adult and do homework.
How dare
Loser.
you? First of all, how dare you?
First of all, how dare you? We have an active girl. Your name should be Silvercat67.
6'7".
Oh my gosh, Ross. And don't call me out, man. I've called you out. I can't undo the call.
Call has happened.
The call has happened. The phone has been rung, and I'm putting it down. What are you gonna do about it? Hamnet got nominated for 8 and won 1 or 2.
Mm. Weapons won, Rhett.
And
Which,
I
granted,
heard
I don't think you've
Weapons
seen
really
yet.
good. I still want to.
It is the best movie I saw that year. And granted, I didn't see a ton of movies, but it's probably one of the most theatrical years I've had as far as going and seeing new movies in the theater
Yeah.
in a long, long time.
Oh, did
And it's the best
Megalopolis
movie.
win anything?
That was the year before.
Win anything?
That was the year before.
Oh, no.
I know. I don't think it did. No,
It's a bad movie.
it's a bad movie. 28 years later, sure as shit didn't. Can you
Yeah.
believe it?
Well, if it was the movie we saw in the trailer, it should have won all of the Oscars, but that's not the movie we saw in the trailer.
Unfortunately, they made a different goddamn movie. But yeah, Weapons only got one, and it was Best Supporting Actor, or Best Actress in a Supporting Role, I guess is how they're wording it now, and that's Amy Madigan as Gladys.
Oh, was that the teacher?
No, she's like the anti-character, I guess.
The spoiler
Probably-
character?
Yeah, probably most people know, or at least I knew her from Uncle Buck. She's Buck's girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that banger of a film.
It is one of the films of all time, and a classic.
Macaulay Culkin is in
Macaulay Culkin, yeah.
Yeah.
it. No,
That's true.
Macaulay Culkin is his official name. It's his legal
Oh.
name. He changed it to that.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That's got to get so annoying after a point. Like,
I think it was
just
meant for the joke sort of thing.
yeah. Oh, I will say, Rhett, because you and I talked about it in our review of Sinners. Sinners won Best Cinematography.
It should have.
Yep. Very well earned, I will say. Very well earned.
Good job, individual that was the cinematographer.
Autumn Durald Arkapaw.
Girl, maybe?
Yep, lady.
Good
From
for you.
Oxnard,
Autumn.
California.
Autumn of Oxnard.
She is of Filipino descent, I guess. I don't know why that's... I mean, whatever. It's the early life section of Wikipedia. Fair enough.
Good for you, Filipino.
But genuinely, good-looking movie. But yeah, it just... What a weird year. Because any other year, Sinners would not be on this list ever. Maybe for cinematography or something, right? Like, maybe.
Uh-huh.
You'd get some below-the-line award. Because... notoriously, the Oscars hates any sort of genre. They don't like it.
Right.
They like dramas.
Yep. I mean,
go ahead.
we've heard this criticism of the Oscars before, that it's basically just a way for themselves to pat themselves on the back, and you really need to go outside of the Oscars to something that would be disconnected from the Oscars to find out if these movies are any good, because obviously they're going to circle the wagons and protect their own, as it were.
Word of mouth is the only way to say. Silver makes a comment. I think it's weird that the Oscars don't have a category for best stunt doubles. Apparently, they are establishing it as an award in 2028. You know, it's interesting because I was thinking of best casting director. The problem with casting director is they don't have the final say. It's the director who chooses their cast. The casting director
Right.
just finds them options. Whereas a stunt
Yeah.
double is an active participant in making things look good on screen. So they have
Yes.
more legitimacy when it comes to an Oscar category than casting director.
From the casting director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, with the stunt double thing, and I'm not saying they deserve it. Like but
The unsung heroes of the movie industry.
oh,
Oh, definitely.
absolutely. But it's just very funny that we are now finally having that category well into the era of CGI, to the point where we are now reaching the era of AI. And that's not to say that stunt doubles are going away forever, yada yada. Like, yes, we will always need them to some degree, but like their heyday was 50 years ago. like 80 years ago. Like that's when they were getting maimed and almost murdered on set. Like,
Well, it'll get
just
to
now?
the point where like
Often did.
the John Wick 8 is going to win the stunt double thing again
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're the only one that use heavy amounts of stunt doubles.
Probably.
Well, Conan O'Brien hosted. I
Oh,
liked for a time his talk show late at night.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I actually will listen to sometimes his little podcast, depending on who's the guest.
Sure.
He also seemed to get political, which is unfortunate. He should be the most passive participant on anything. One of his jokes was, "I should warn you, tonight could get political, okay? If that makes you uncomfortable, here's an alternate Oscars hosted by Kid Rock at the David Buster's down the street. Lot of tickets for that." So making fun of the Kid Rock halftime show, the counter halftime show to the Super Bowl. It wasn't as small as you would think. Apparently, the halftime show generated over 25 million views across platforms. That's more than the Oscars did. So maybe you should show the Oscars at the Dave and Buster's down the street with how
Yeah.
relevant you seem to be.
Yeah.
You inbred redhead.
Genuinely inbred.
Yeah, that's not a joke. He is inbred.
It's hard to be 99% Irish and not be. Or anything, frankly.
I think it was 100%, but he had a doctor test his DNA and they said it was like 100% Irish. And he's like, "Well, what does that mean?" He's like, "Well, you're inbred." Basically, Irish cousins married Irish cousins, married Irish cousins, and we got Conan O'Brien with his mediocre comedy. Mediocre to bad. It's just, and so now we're looking down the road of the shrinking audiences. 45 million, 36, 34, 34 in 2016. That should tell you the precipitous drop even from 2016.
Yeah.
At some point, you should look around and be like, well, we're doing something wrong, as opposed to, well, we'll get them back. Movies are still relevant and things are still fine. Well, do they think eventually things will just spin around? We'll just get back past COVID. We'll get past the strikes, even though we're looking at a new strike. And then we'll bounce back. And it's like, will you? I mean, honestly, do you have any belief whatsoever? The more and more years go on, the less and less we care about what you have to say. And that's because you're getting more and more political. I know it sounds like I'm trying to shut up people who have genuine political opinions. I'm not. Just understand that when you start to express your opinion, I know I'm going to have an opinion of you. And it's going to damage my perception of you as an artist. And I'm going to be like, oh, your opinion's so gross, I don't want to see your film. And it damages you, it damages your industry, it damages your films. It actively damaged Snow White. We know this, to the point where the producer had to go and yell at her to stop saying nonsense online.
Shut the hell up.
What happened to the clauses in contracts for these people where it's like, well, you can't go out and get in some scandal because it damages our films? Were they so afraid of putting them under those moral contracts anymore? And just a lot of the stupid jokes for this under Conan O'Brien didn't land. How does it feel, Conan, to reside over one of the lowest viewed Oscars of all time? The least relevant and no one gives a shit Oscars of all time. This is you and your stupid ginger face. Good job, Conan.
He did it. He nailed it.
I mean, not to make personal attacks, but it's like the weird disconnect of these people. The weird, they just don't get it or understand or whatever.
Well,
why don't you bring up the politicking, Ross, and how stupid the rest of it was?
Oh, sure. I just want to point out, at least this takes the heat off his worst Christmas party ever. I would go to the one above that.
All right.
That you're clicking on now. I mean, we can go to the politicking. Yeah, we can go there, actually. I'm sorry. I lied.
Okay.
There's not, I mean, I kind of mentioned it already. Just this particular article, such as it is, goes over the political moments of the night. Conan O'Brien taking a jab at the president because the JFK Center for the Performing Arts name was changed, or at least added to.
Yeah, it's what it's the JFK Trump Center or something.
Yeah.
Or is it Trump JFK because
I think it's Trump
his
JFK.
ego puts it in front of the.
I mean, why not? I mean, if we're going out, I think probably just because it's easier to put on the side of the building, but, you know, I don't know, whatever. It is very silly. I will grant them. What a silly change. But, yeah, then O'Brien mentioning basically the joke, mentioning the lack of consequences for the Epstein files, but then talking about like British actors.
A lot of people in that room might actually go to jail.
Well, and the funny thing is,
Epstein
because
files is the problem.
a British spokesperson saying, "Yeah, but at least we like because this is the joke, but at least we arrest our pedophiles." No, famously, you don't, Britain.
No, yeah.
Famously, Britain does not do that. Famously, the BBC covers up for one, and frankly, feeds him children. But okay, whatever.
Well, he was very popular, Ross. It's fine.
Yeah, he went to hospitals, and definitely not to diddle.
He had his own room at the child's hospital,
Jesus God. Ugh,
or was
it's
it
like-
the orphanage? Either one.
I can't remember which.
He's a bad dude.
He's not like
Oh,
Corn
yeah.
Pop.
I like corn pop.
But then one battle after another, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson gets up and basically apologized to his children's generation for the housekeeping mess we left this world. We left in this world and that we're handing off to them.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully they'll be able to restore a sense of common sense and decency.
I doubt it.
I don't know. Whatever.
Everybody
That's
acts like
fine.
every generation's just, oh, you're going to be so much more. We don't improve as a species. We don't.
Javier Bardem's, which I kind of mentioned, it's just a real bland Free Palestine and no a la guerra. So good for him.
Great, Javier.
Yeah, who cares? Joachim Trier, he won International Film for Sentimental Value. He paraphrased U.S. civil rights activist and author James Baldwin, pointing out that all adults are responsible for all children. Let's not vote for politicians who don't take this seriously and into account.
I agree.
And they did this thing. Well, they did this thing this year where like they cut people off and then had to send them to the back to finish their speeches. And he said backstage, "We've seen Palestinian children suffer, children from Ukraine suffer, from Sudan suffer, and there doesn't seem to be any accountability at the moment."
What about Israeli children suffering? Do we not care? Do we not care about the Jew children?
No.
Nope.
Anyway,
I thought you said
Moving
about
on.
children. James Baldwin. Oh well, this guy Joaquin.
yeah, no, this is
Trier.
Joachim Trier, which, ironically, I think he's a German.
Oh, oh no,
No, Norwegian. Excuse me. Whatever. Maybe he's a Quisling.
he's the
Anyway.
pure. He's a pure form
Jimmy Kimmel takes this jab at CBS, which weirdly enough,
because he had to because he's a political hack and not funny.
and of all of them, that one's all right. It just seems petty and bitchy. There are some countries whose leaders don't support free speech. I'm not at liberty to say which. Let's just leave it at North Korea and CBS.
Yeah,
Oh
they want to
gosh.
keep hiring you.
Your numbers definitely aren't in the trash.
Is he hired by
Yeah,
CBS?
it has nothing to do with the. It has nothing to do with the fact that you don't have an audience and you keep losing money hand over fist. That couldn't have anything.
No,
to
I think
do
he's just
with the
talking
fact
shit
that
at
you're losing your
CBS.
job.
Well, it was the
'Cause-
60 Minutes program about Trump and that they censored.
Yeah,
Parts
and
of it or
Stephen
something.
Colbert, his interview with the Texas Democrat, and
Okay, I mean, these are decisions that they make because they don't live in a vacuum and the world has a lot of people that might disagree. Or, I mean, do whatever you want to and then lose viewers and then channels go off the air and then congratulations. Do that. Just do
What-
that. Whatever.
yeah.
I'm
The
not
one that
committed
cracks
to
me
your
up-
survival. I don't give a shit.
Is he talks shit about the Melania movie. And there are also documentaries where you walk around the White House trying on shoes. Oh man, is he going to be mad his wife isn't nominated? And you know what? That right there, he's going to be so mad. That right there, that attitude is just so pathetic.
It's very
Yeah.
stupid and childish.
Because the reality is, Hollywood, if you are better, and I'm going to be honest, from a moral perspective, it's really not hard to be better than Donald Trump, pre or post presidencies.
No.
Like even before he was president, man, like he's an asshole. He's a prick.
Yeah.
So just don't. But you can't help yourselves, can you? And the reality is, you're not. You know, you've covered for and continued the existence of systems that abuse people, whether it's children, women, men,
Young
doesn't
girls
matter.
with starry eyes trying to be a Hollywood actress.
Yes, I mean
Harvey
a
Weinstein.
long-
The amount of looking the other way with Harvey Weinstein. This was your
Ugh.
fault. I mean,
Yep.
the moral grandstanding of a group of people where you could guarantee that them compared to the average population, there's probably a higher level of grapists and
Oh,
and abusers. There's a higher
Absolutely.
level of immoral, decadent, disreputable people who have abused children more than the general population. I mean, you could
Oh, yeah.
lower the rates of horrific crimes by crashing a plane into the building when they're all in it. That's how degenerate those people are. Let's not forget that most of the people on the Epstein list were from Hollywood.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
So
they were.
suck my balls, Hollywood. You and your moral grandstanding, you bunch of shit-faced pieces of garbage.
And the last one was just from this documentary crew about Putin. Whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
you
fine.
lose it through countless small acts of complicity. Like, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Putin, but
Yeah.
whenever I see something like this, I just ask my question of like, oh, yeah, Hollywood kind of has an agenda. So maybe that was the decision for Putin movie and not it was good.
Yeah.
Because I have to second guess everything you do because you don't pick the best of, you pick what's the best political decision.
Mm.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
Rhett had kind of mentioned it earlier, but we put it on the back burner just because we were focusing on the bigger
It's
stuff.
the funny thing.
Yeah. And that is Timothy Chalamet. Now, Timothy Chalamet, obviously up for a lot of things with Marty Supreme. And
Ew.
he had a little bit of heat going into this, more than a little bit,
It's so stupid.
because he made some comments on Matthew McConaughey's show, podcast, whatever you call it.
Okay.
Basically, commenting on, because, oh God, where do I start with this? So, Timothy Chalamet is clearly a very hungry young actor, right? He's very competitive. He
Okay,
very
okay.
much wants to be the top of his game. And he's mentioned in interviews leading up to with the Oscar push for Marty Supreme, and I think even before this, where he mentioned something like he's almost jealous of like athletes in like major like sports, because through like statistics you can know that someone is the best, or at least the best at this thing within that sport.
Right.
Whereas acting obviously is a much more nebulous thing,
It's
a lot more feeling, a lot more
subjective. Yeah.
yeah, subjective, artful, whatever. And which to me points to the fact that he very much wants to be at the top of his game. And there is a thing in Hollywood where they want you to see you pay your dues. And
Yeah.
he's been nominated, I think, 3 times now for various things. So on Matthew McConaughey's show, he made a comment basically saying that he wants to be doing like movies or things that essentially get a lot of eyeballs on. He doesn't want to be doing something that nobody cares about, and I'm more kind of quoting now, that nobody really cares about, like ballet and opera, where they're just begging to stay alive. Like, please keep us alive.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And that's... People got really upset at that because they felt he was kind of shitting on people that were like kind of beneath him in the money-making aspect, at least, or like the fame aspect. And almost
No,
like punching
he's just
down.
Not wrong that nobody cares about ballet and opera.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, here, let me see if I can find the actual quote because I feel like I don't want to misquote him. Because that's rude. Damn it.
Yeah, let's not do that on this podcast. Let's always be polite.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
I was like, let's just constantly misquote.
here we go. I don't want to. Oh, go away, Guardian. Anyway, I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. And he says in his follow up, all respect to all the ballet and opera people out there. But so that's all he said, and the reality is people don't care.
No.
Obviously, these things used to be huge art forms. These used to be things that people
Yeah.
would go see fairly often.
Well,
They were
among
always-
upper class.
Even
It's never
yes.
really been a working class. ballet
No,
and
but
opera.
the places where people would go to see these things were, whether or not they had the capability or the ability to put on those things for the working class is a different thing. Usually it ended up being things like later on it'd be vaudeville, but the theater in general. And for instance, you guys would be somewhat familiar with one of the places I went to school. It's not unknown to you.
Oh.
But it is a pretty small place, certainly
Right,
historically.
right.
And there were, and these are that have now been redone, kept up, and they are used for various things. 3 theaters right there in downtown. And those 3 theaters historically have been there from start of the 20th century till about the 20s is when they were getting built. And prior to that, that town had an 800-seat opera, same like right in downtownish area. Prior to that, unfortunately, it suffered a fire like so many buildings did back in the day, and that was built in the 1890s. Now, for context, this is in the west part of the United States, so we're talking that's pretty early on as far as American settlement of places.
Right.
Now, in 1890, that whole area, not just the town, but like the greater statistical area, we'll say, at least as it's seen now, that was probably about 20,000 people, and they had an 800-person opera built.
Yeah, the area's always been outsized when it comes to
Yes.
art.
And by the 20s,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's when that area had 3, and there was 36,000 residents, let's say. So, I mean, these things were very popular, whether it was opera, ballet, or just theater in general. It was a big thing. But remember, this is either prior to radio or in radio's infancy. Movies aren't a thing yet, or if they are, they're very new, and I doubt many of them made it to that particular part of that state. And it just... that was the entertainment. The entertainment was the things you put
Right.
on with local people, or that you could convince to travel through town as part of a tour.
Right.
And that was probably the height. Now we are in an era where even in Europe, these things exist either partially through government funds, maybe to maintain the buildings because they're historical, and then through private donations and things like that. Like, yes, they put on shows, they make money, but no normal business, like, say, a movie theater that's in the entertainments, would be able to survive putting on, let's say, 4 shows a year? 8?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. That doesn't work.
No, they have to be subsidized by the government because they can't recoup their costs if they're only doing 4 shows a year.
Yeah. And very
There's
famously...
just no way they could. They would have to charge so much per ticket. Nobody would attend.
And there's a bit of that anyway, because especially opera and ballet, they are seen as a little bit more higher class. So,
Yeah.
better tickets are
Other
certainly...
tickets do end up being a
pretty
little
big
bit more
money.
expensive, but they still wouldn't be able to
No.
to make enough money just purely through ticket sales.
And the reality is, I think, to me, at least what I have seen in my life, and I've traveled a fair amount, not a ton, but That's mostly through private donations. People who really care about the arts, who have money.
Yeah.
Famously, and you guys will know the name, there is a name that is on a lot of theaters around the neck of the woods. You all three of us know.
Right.
A very famous last name that's, at least for this area.
On buildings all over here.
All over, specifically for the arts. Both
Right.
where I went to college to finish out my degree, as far as my bachelor's, and where I started in junior college, which is an entirely different part of the state. That name is everywhere when it comes to arts. And that's the reality. Without those kind of people, I don't think these things would exist. And I'm saying all this to say that Timothy Chalamet got a lot of heat, and I think needlessly. So much heat that Conan O'Brien felt he needed to add it to his monologue. Security is extremely tight tonight, he says. I'm told that there's concerns about attacks from both the opera and ballet communities.
Ross, they brought out of retirement a famous opera singer to do a piece for the Oscars.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody was like, who?
Yeah, exactly. Who the hell is
Because
this?
nobody cares about opera. We barely care about movies.
Yeah. Alexandra Singh, one of the directors of the Best Live Action Shorts, remarked in his speech, "We believe that art can change people's souls. Maybe it takes 10 years' time, but we can change society through art, through creativity, through theater and ballet." Nobody watches it.
I don't understand. I don't understand the beef with Timothy Chalamet right now. I don't.
Well,
get it.
they all got angry, and it's funny. There is possibly, I don't think it really would have mattered, but if you go to the next one, it's a little bit further down. I think I added it. Yes, I did.
Well, let me.
We get to the point where it's talking about what some of the Oscar voters or people in the trades have said. Some of it's just the publicity and how he was doing it in general. He definitely almost came at it, I don't want to say in character, but kind of in shades of character, because very forward and like kind of like sure of himself kind of a thing, which is his character in the film is that way. Like, I thought Chalamet was great and I would have voted for him, but I will admit he turned me off with his campaign, just to be honest.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
the last one is, because of the comments, it's so trashy, punching down on artists who make a fraction of what he makes, yet spent 10 to 20 years honing their craft. I'm sorry, this guy is not Philip Seymour Hoffman. And Philip Seymour Hoffman would certainly never punch down on opera and ballet dancers. That's an entitled dude. I'm sorry. I lost a lot of respect for him.
So do just all artists in this realm sit in a back room, like rubbing each other to an audience of 5? Is this what we're, because they all feel like they have to like back each other up or some such nonsense, especially when general audiences do not care. They don't watch opera. They don't watch ballet. Nobody cares. This is an internal Hollywood beef that seems petty and small. Talk about punching down. The entire movie industry is punching down on Chalamet right now. And it's weird. Yeah. Like, if I were there, I'd be like, so?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
And the reality is, for most people, ballet is something they see on PBS. The last opera singer most people knew about was Pavarotti.
Yep.
That's been, like, what, the 70s and 80s?
Yeah.
Like, nobody, maybe Bocelli. Maybe some people know him.
Bocelli.
I don't know the name.
But Pavarotti is probably the one that most Americans, at least, will have any clue what you're talking about.
Pavarotti,
and I'll be honest,
Dharma. That's all I know.
Yeah.
He's saying
and that's a long time ago.
Well, I mean, you have the three tenors, so Pavarotti, and of course
Jason, even Seinfeld joked about the fact that nobody knows the other guys.
I used to. Caruso was one of the other ones.
The point isn't that you know. The point is nobody gives a shit.
It.
Pavarotti's the only one they care about.
Right. The thing is that it really is a dying art form.
Yes.
And it's dying not because it's it doesn't have talented people that are willing to put in the work to pursue that art form. It's
Yeah.
dying because audiences aren't going to it anymore. They've moved on from that. They've moved
Yeah.
on to things that are much more mass market and much more palatable to people with less time on their hands, really.
Well, this is going to lead into a bigger discussion.
Yeah.
Ross,
Well,
anything else to say before we?
well, I just kind of wanted to wrap up by saying the great irony of all this is that they are mad at Timothy Chalamet for perhaps not the most tactfully,
Telling the
but
truth.
not very far from saying anything truly disparaging, but for telling the truth about industry,
Mm-hmm.
ballet and opera, that are very much niche, that are very much kept on life support and alive by donations of others, government programs as far as keeping the buildings that they work in alive and functioning. Like, he told the truth on that. They're mad about it, and the great irony is that is exactly where the movie industry is going. That's where it's going. It is we are going away. Like the days of the big multiplex is going to be gone if Hollywood continues on this path. It will be gone. There will be like kind of like more not niche, but anyway, like nicer, maybe one, maybe two screen theaters, like kind of downtown or like and that's where they show movie. Like, oh, we were gonna go see a movie at the theater. They're putting on the Oscar winner from 1932. Like, that's what it's gonna become. It's gonna become more of an art filled boutique sort of experience, and it's going that way because of the kinds of attitudes and the kinds of statements and the kinds of actions that they took that night on during the Oscars. I mean, just this smug, self-assured. They know what they're doing. Like, oh yeah, well, of course, one battle after another one. It's telling the reality. It's a really truthful, powerful film. Oh, it didn't make any money. It lost money, but oh, it's so beautiful and amazing. And it's like, great. So you're not going to be around much longer.
Well, so we're starting to step into a conversation I actually kind of thought of I talked to you earlier today in the intro.
Mm.
And I sat down and I watched a video by Red Letter Media. And I found myself fascinated by what they were talking about. Because to a degree, there was a bit of it's like weird disconnect. It's almost
Okay.
like old men don't understand why movie no good, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that weird boomer meme of like they just don't get the youth or what's happening. And they were having this big conversation about movies and movies that fall into the cracks and that nobody sees any of these, or sort of how film and whatnot is going. And especially with a lot of people that might have grown up watching film. They brought up a statistic, a study, poll of some kind, but apparently younger generations are finding movies less and less relevant to them.
Yeah.
And it's not even Hollywood alienating their audiences, which is, I mean, it might just be accelerating things as opposed to really a root cause, or making bad films. That we might be approaching a not just paradigm shift, but a medium shift of what do we consume. Because we look at things like long form storytelling in the form of film, and how younger generations are getting more and more disconnected. Mike makes a really good point of broadcast television still exists and people still watch it, but it's increasingly older and older generations, and eventually they're all going to die off, and then broadcast television will go away. And to some degree, we might be reaching a point of film itself, long form storytelling in a video medium, where younger generations are going to care less and less, and more time is going to pass, and then it's going to be like, well, are movies still going to be around? It's funny because as I sat there and watched it, I started to think to myself, I mean, what does future content look like? I mean, look at the average things that attract attention now. Short form videos, quick things. I mean, things like video games, single player, long drawn out, story driven experiences are less and less attractive to gaming audiences. They're more and more interested in the quicker entertainment. And we can go down the road of, I guess, poo-pooing the shorter attention spans and the yada, 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 which are all factors. But sort of what we consume or what we want could just be changing. I mean, look at what Disney Plus is doing. They're putting on shorts on Disney Plus in cell phone format.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Clips from shows on Disney Plus.
Oh, it's so stupid.
What is the medium turning into? Because we could be evolving out of even caring about film.
Yeah.
As far as like, film won't go away. It will not go extinct. I mean, we'll still put on plays from the Greek era, the ancient Greek era. Like, it will not go extinct. Will it be the predominant form of entertainment? Well, it already isn't, right? Like, that's just...
Well, yeah, video games already outpaced the movie industry.
Exactly. They will exist. I just don't... They will not be the big thing. They just can't be. They will be boutique, kind of, that's so artsy to go see a film, to watch a movie.
So let me carry you further, because we've had this discussion if it's going to become sort of a premium experience sort of thing. And
yeah.
Where does things look that we're going? Because we're going very quick, short form, cell phone, mostly consumed content. We talk a lot about people getting engaged with long form podcasts, but I don't even know if that's younger generations. That might just be older generations that eventually will die off. Maybe. And it'll be people with small clips that are AI generated.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, right? It's probably millennials are probably the big ones for that long form podcast thing.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So, what does entertainment even look like down the road? I'm not even talking about, will movies still exist? I mean, you'll be able to see a film, but much like broadcast television, what if anybody who gives a crap anymore dies off? And we're sitting there looking around with this Timothy Chalamet's everywhere, and no one's going to the opera or whatever.
So one of the things that occurred to me as we've been talking about this is, we've talked a lot about how the budgets for movies have ballooned to the point that it's unsustainable. And we can't even say that that's only something that's happening in the movie industry. That seems like everybody out there that goes into a big project, the project budget balloons to the point where it's absurd to expect them to make money off of what they produce. And one of the things that occurred to me is, you and I, Rhett, were both fans of Charlie Brown. And one thing that I remember reading in Charlie Brown is, the kids go to a movie by themselves without their parents. And the cost for a ticket to get into the movie is 5 cents. And the thing is that
you have a point, and we've had this discussion before. I'm going to push back on you.
Well,
because there's a point
I want to go a little bit further.
Well, I think you might be wrong in a sense, because they brought up a huge list of films that are very cheaply done and no one's watching them.
Well, no, I get that. That's part of it. And what I wanted to kind of go with was, back in Charles Schultz's day when he was doing Peanuts, and he was talking about the ticket prices and stuff. I believe that was from his childhood. Was when the movie prices were like 5 cents or whatever. Um, I'm pretty sure that, as kids, my parents went to more movies in the movie theater than I did when I was growing up. And my children have even gone to fewer movies than I went to as a kid. And some of that is, when you're thinking about, okay, let's take everybody and go to the movies. That is a very big ask as far as the cost to go to a
See,
movie.
yeah, I think you're going down the wrong direction than what I'm trying to talk about.
What I'm saying is that, because I didn't take my kids to movies, because for me, it was the price to take my family to a movie was out of my price range. That my children don't really have a love of going to the movies that previous generations had. For me, if I wanted to entertain my family with a movie, it was much cheaper for me to go and rent one at the local video store and bring it back. And so we would most of the time wait for the movie to come out on VHS at
Yeah,
the time,
Jason,
and
you're
things.
not getting my point. You're going the cost prohibitive route. This is not even the point I'm
No,
going
no.
to.
What I'm saying is that because it was cost prohibitive for me to take my family to the theater, my kids don't have that love of going to the theater that used to exist. And I think that because it's been cost prohibitive, fewer and fewer people have been inculcating that love of going to the movies into their kids. And it's more like, let's just stay home and do
Yeah,
something.
this is not the issue I'm trying to bring up, Jason.
No, I wasn't. I was trying to bring up my issue.
Yeah, and
Something
it's
that had
completely
occurred to me
opposite
as I
from the
was.
topic I'm trying to talk about. So, congratulations. The point is what we even care about as far as the medium at all. Whether or not even movies as a form of entertainment is even something that we are even going to be interested down the road. Not whether or not we've developed love and passed it on, or whether or not the cost is even a factor. None of that's really relevant. I mean, there's been a big conversation going on for quite some time in Hollywood in the background of even trying to expose people to movies. Mike made a really good point of, I don't even know what movies are coming out anymore because he doesn't hit it in any algorithm. He's like, well, I watch local television and whatnot. That's because he isn't even connected to how movies are even shared anymore. Like, ask yourself, how do you know what new movies are coming out? I mean, my answer would be YouTube ad.
Yeah.
Or an ad that might show up on TikTok. But then this is now going to be...
I used to look it up.
Well, that's not even a thing anymore. Because now that we're looking at it, like I was having a conversation with Ross the other day where I was like, I don't even know what music is popular. And you had the point of like, well, you're just doing that old man thing. Like, I don't get it. But the problem is I'm online all of the time. In the past, I would know what new music was available to me because I'd watch MTV or listen to the radio or whatever. That's not even a factor at all anymore. Like they're receiving this in a different way. And a lot of it probably has something to do with algorithm. The algorithm is just being like, well, you're this age, you like 90s, and then just lean into that. As opposed to how people are being exposed to stuff. I mean, look at how movies are being advertised to young people nowadays. Jamie Kennedy made a point with the recent Scream that came out. He's like, they didn't even invite me. And then he watches videos of Scream, and it's prolific with influencers. Just all over the place. Trying to expose people because they get access, talking about being on the red carpet and the glamour of everything. Because you have Hollywood now not even understanding how to connect with younger audiences because they don't even know how to talk to them or even how to get advertising into their face. One of the biggest obstacles when it comes to advertising is getting them to access the advertising and getting their product accessed by the consumers that might consume it. And so they're now talking to simply people who were popular for wearing shoes or talking about lifestyle bullshit on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, because they lack even a fundamental understanding of how to connect with these audiences. And now we're going down the road of, it's not even what do movies look like. Is long form video storytelling even relevant down the road? Will that even matter? They brought up on Red Letter Media, there is a form of video that they're doing. I don't remember the video channel, where they're doing short movies that are 13 minutes long in cell phone filmed format. I don't even think that's going to be successful. And I'm not even talking about attention span. Look, I understand the issues with attention span and how much of a thing that might be a factor in how people are consuming content. It's like our attention spans, like what is the effect that the internet's having on our brains? These are all things, but I don't want to turn it into the stupid Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they're mind addled. I mean, like, do films exist? I mean, what entertainment will we consume? Look at video games. The vast majority of consumed video games are like 4 or 5 games.
Mobile games.
Not even like single player or whatever. I think there is a massive shift on what people consume. They did this thing with young teachers when they're teaching very very young kids, and they found that young children across a lot of demographics and whatnot across America, they were finding a lot of children are so poorly educated and poorly prepared that at like kindergarten level, many of them don't even recognize what their name looks like or can do their letters or numbers.
No.
But they can type a password into a tablet. And we can decry what this looks like to younger generations and how the internet might be more damaging than anything. That's not the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is, what does the medium look like? Because there's a potential direction this goes where this doesn't I mean, not even just movies, like, what do we even consume at this point? Like, how relevant is it?
Like, I don't know what you're trying to... I don't know what you're trying to get at, I guess. Like, are we just not consume anything? Is that what you're getting at?
Well,
or
no, like, see, that's what's so difficult with prescribing what the future is going to hold. Because it's like, if we look at what people are doing, it's like, well, little short 30-second videos. But it's like, you don't really get storytelling from that. But you get small, like... what are those stupid mind brain rot stuff where it's like baby finds dolphin, fights dolphin, Spider-Man makes him heal dolphin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those sort of stupid videos. Like what does entertainment look like when people are no longer interested in film? Television?
Yeah.
Reading, long form podcasts, lack the capacity to understand their own names, don't play long form single player games, that it's all Fortnite. I mean, this might sound like, oh, you're just being too hard on them. It's like statistics show there's less and less interest in film. And we know in the video game industry that almost 5 games are the most popular things anyone plays. No one's buying video games. So what exactly are we looking at? 10, 15, 20 years from now?
I wonder if what we're going to get is kind of like you said, this 30-second video thing. And then people are going to start discovering the fact that they can make longer and longer content, and people will start, it'll do a nosedive into we can only do like a minute tops, otherwise we lose our audience, to it starting to slowly climb back out of that crater again.
I mean, you can hope that somehow there's a reinterest and something more thoughtful. But I mean, Star Trek was thoughtful, and they decided nobody wanted to watch Star Trek. And perhaps the point shouldn't be, well, we need to make stuff smarter or make stuff dumber because people are dumber and they need more TikTok clippy Star Trek content like Star Trek Academy. Maybe the point being, it's like if we make it smarter, they'll elevate to it. But
Maybe.
I mean, how many people read? Like, nobody reads. I read.
Smut.
But nobody read. Well,
I
yeah,
do.
Smut.
No, see, listen here, Choom.
Oh,
People are gonna get chromed out,
yeah.
and they're gonna have the chip in their brain that just dumps dopamine every 5, 10, 20 minutes. I don't know.
I love where you're
and
going
that's
with
it.
this.
This is entertainment.
No, seriously think, what exactly do you think this road goes to?
That's yeah. I mean,
so you're seriously the cyberpunk future?
well, there's already people with brain chips. That's a thing they're trying now.
Well, the test audience. I mean, wait till general acceptance, and then we'll force.
We heard about AI in 2018, 2019, as far as being a usable thing, like just before COVID.
Yeah.
It is now to the point where we are fighting propaganda wars on Twitter with third world nations, and people are believing it.
Yeah, Iran putting out videos of shooting down planes that they didn't shoot down.
Yeah, it's no longer just hilariously bad Photoshop. It's stuff that's getting to the point of believability. No, I'm serious. Because all this is when people just get on a shorts run or TikTok or whatever, they just keep swiping. That's all that is. It's just releasing dopamine every 2 minutes, every minute. Just melting your brain. That's yeah.
Well, because what I think I'm asking for is put yourself in generations to come, and then think about what exactly they are consuming. Because I know we could say, well, premium film or whatever. It's it might get to the point where nobody cares.
No. I mean, as far as the movie industry as we know it, yeah, that won't. Yeah, that might go away. But I mean, again, we consume plays that are thousands of years old.
That's fair.
It's a
but
thing
we're
we do
also
now.
not as dumb as newest generations.
We are dumber than the generation before us, and
True.
the generation before them, and the generation we're dumb. We're dumb as shit.
Yeah, we're getting pretty dumb.
No, I don't. And on top of that, the cultural relevance of these things is smaller than ever, theoretically, right? Than the people who lived in the culture that created it. They will be around. But what will there even be 2 movies a year? Oh no. They will exhibit film at very particular places.
And if you consider yourself an intellectual of sorts, you might watch it. Well, I mean, there was the article about kids in film school finding it hard to pay attention to movies they're watching in film school.
Which is, why are you in film school? What is happening?
And I'm not even trying to imply we're becoming idiocracy. What I am implying is, if that can't keep people's attention, then what does storytelling look like in the future? If film
Cartoons.
school students who are there for film can't keep their attention watching movies, then what exactly is the medium going to look like?
It's going to go back to basically cartoons that are 10 minutes long, pops.
AI video that specifically caters
Yeah.
to your specific need or desire or want.
Yeah.
The algorithm will just know you so well, it'll anticipate what you're looking for.
I just don't think. I mean, maybe we'll get off the dopamine train, but
That's hopeful.
I think it's one of the things that is very difficult for people to realize that it's happening to them. And if they don't realize it's happening to them, it's going to be very hard for them to consciously make that effort to derail that train and get back to something that, like you're talking about, long form storytelling. I think that there are still some people that are being turned on to the long form storytelling, but because we have that, like you said, that short dopamine hit, and they're doom scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and they're getting that blast dopamine every 5 seconds, that it's gonna take quite a bit of effort to say, no, this is not good for you. You need to um, direct your attention to something that is more worthwhile than this 10-second video.
I
Uh,
I
I
think we've
feel
had
that-
that discussion of lamenting what's happening to mankind and what this means. I'm trying to ask, what if we can't
Right.
change the direction? What
right,
does it
and
look
what
like?
I'm saying is, if they can't change that, then what it's going to be is we're going to get, like you said, that AI driven content where it's producing a video every 5 minutes for us that caters exactly to our our whims. I think that that's a plausible scenario, that uh, we are just renewing every 5 seconds this dopamine hit because we're getting something new, and because of that, I and because of the fact that AI can now produce things so seamlessly, it really does lend itself to this type of entertainment, where it's like, I want something new, and my likes, give me something in that genre, and make sure it's short because I don't want to sit here for too long.
'Cause
Now do it again. Now do it again.
Sitting there and watching Red Letter Media talk about, because they were talking about good movies that are made very cheaply that are failing at the box office.
Yeah.
$20 million movies getting 4. $10 million movies getting 1. And they're like, these are cheap. They're not made expensively. They're built for the algorithm, where it's like these little horror movies that could be successful in some way. And they sat there like old men scratching their head of like, I don't understand what's working. The world is changing. Yada, yada. And it's like, well, we know why movies are bad, but we also could extrapolate down the road of like, what if we just aren't really in general interested in film at all? Like, I genuinely like film and I like to talk about movies, and we have a little side project where we sit and talk about film, and we're going to do the James Bond in the future and think about it and talk about it at length, the characters and the ideas and the whatnot. And it's, I mean, that's not even what people are interested in consuming now. And if that trend
Right.
continues, if we do the exaggerated line chart goes to sky, then what does content look like? I mean, what even exists at this point? And this is more the speculation of what I wanted to bring up, because I was
Right.
sitting here going, I mean, honestly, if we look at trends, are we even gonna like because we're talking about the Oscars and how disconnected they are from their audience and how it's damaging their industry, and it's like, I mean, younger generations aren't even interested in their industry. Is this just older generations that liked movies talking about how movies are getting worse, and younger generations aren't even just clocked into it?
I wonder if some of it is also something that you touched on earlier, the fact that these movies don't know how to reach their audience.
I don't think there's an audience left.
Yeah, I don't think
like,
that's my point.
well,
I don't
there
think there
might
is an
not be.
audience.
But I know that you and I, that all three of us remember broadcast television and things, and whenever a new movie was coming out, we would be bombarded with trailers for the new movie, and now there really isn't anything like that. I mean, the trailer just dropped for Spider-Man and for Dune 3. I had no idea about Dune 3. Spider-Man, yes, but I don't remember why I even watched it. I don't remember
Spider-Man 3 is not even
what-
my least favorite Spider-Man, so whatever.
Well, no. The what I was wondering was, you know, usually what happens is I'll be watching something on YouTube and a commercial will come up. But the commercials I'm seeing, I don't know about commercials that you guys may be seeing, but they're usually not um, entertainment related. They're like, hey, here's tools. Hey, here's, and that could just be because, of the search algorithm picking up on what I'm looking for.
That's
It could also be, it's kind of figuring out how old I am, and so it's thinking it's tailoring more towards somebody who is an
no,
older
it's the algorithm. I've been
adult.
weirdly getting impotence pill recommendations, and I was like, I don't have a problem. Like, I don't understand why, but it's like, I think it's like, well, you're getting to the age where impotence might be. It's like, shut up, internet.
Well, I think the other thing is I think I know where you, sorry, I'm all over the place.
Keep going.
Well, there is such a diversification of our algorithms, right? Where about 1,000 different holes that you can get sucked down as far as what it offers to you, what it thinks you want to see. I mean, I have YouTube Premium now, so I don't get advertised to on YouTube.
He's better than us.
But that's right, and don't forget it. But like sometimes I'd get Spanish commercials, and it's like, okay, sure. Yeah, like people's algorithms have been so like they get so niche or so weird that like typical traditional ones, or someone like me, I don't watch TV. I have been this way for a long time. I watch YouTube. That's where I go to try and find something to entertain me when I get off of work or whatever. When I first wake up, I don't just turn on TV. I go to YouTube, and I have for a long time. And so before, I would get ads through YouTube, and that's how I would know a movie. Because hey, you're a man in your 20s or early 30s. Here's the Marvel movie that's coming out. It's like, oh, cool. I don't care. But I would at least see it. It would come across. I don't get any of that now because I have premium. I have no idea what's getting advertised in the world because I've told it to go away. So unless it comes up on the Instagram feed, I have no, or maybe Twitter, which are my lesser apps. I have no clue, and those ones are so baffling. Like those algorithms are so completely different. Frankly, I get music recommendations for ads in my Instagram.
I downloaded one little stupid game on Google Play, and I've been getting ads for games on my cell phone on YouTube.
Yeah.
On YouTube, and I was like, I don't want to download anything. Like, if you're going to do this, I'm deleting all games off my phone. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and so I mean, that's probably part of it. As far as what entertainment will look like what will be our thing. I mean, the non-joke answer is, like Jason said, probably something AI related. I mean, if we're going to try and keep it grounded. I mean, who knows? Have you seen that video of this? This is a really weird way to put this, but there's a video out there used as a GIF for a reaction gift of a clearly incredibly autistic young man just staring at a multicolored light thing. He's nose to it, and it just flashes different colors in his face. Maybe it'll be that.
The correct color, combination.
We
gives
just
us the
completely
right
melted
feeling,
our brains.
the right emotional feeling. Well, if the chips work, they could just insert the dopamine, and we don't have to consume things to get that.
Yeah, we don't have to imagine or see anything. It's just all chemical, baby.
Pleasure can be what we want. I wanted to bring this discussion up, not just prompted because what I watched, but we go down the road too often when we lament the situation in Hollywood. It's like, well, Hollywood's written poorly, or they're disconnected from their general audience, or it's far too political, or they don't know how to write stories, or everything's bad, or the budgets are too big, or it's too expensive to go to the theater anymore, or this issue or that issue, and it's like, it brought up an interesting idea that maybe even it's just not even a form of entertainment people are growing less interested in. Like that might also be a factor. I mean, look at what younger
Maybe,
and younger
yeah.
audiences are consuming. Shorter and shorter videos, little tiny bits, some stupid stuff on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. And you know, every new generation, people look down and go, "Oh, they're getting dumber. Look at the rock and roll; it's rotting their brains." And there might be a factor to this, but I also know that movies aren't guaranteed to exist forever, and we can look at the numbers of the failure, and we can look at video games and being like, most of the players are 5 video games. We can look at storytelling and be like, well, nobody's consuming I mean, look at how desperate mainstream media content is. That Netflix has podcasts on there, and then you just pick your favorite personality or your favorite influencer, and then you watch the thing where they have the most mind-numbing, illogical, like, oh, that was fun, I went in the blah, 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 and then you're just like, shoot me in the face right now.
Yep.
It reminds me of the MASH song where it's and you start to wonder, like, well, what if we extrapolate this? What does it look like if movies stop being a thing, or people stop caring, or it becomes more and more like minimalized until it just goes away, like broadcast television? I mean, nobody's reading, nobody whatever. And I'm not just saying because the younger generations are dumber. I'm saying it's because they've been raised with different things. The internet's always been a thing for a lot of people. Social media has always been a thing. And for young children going to school who can't read, but they know how to control an iPad, what does entertainment look like? And at that point, it's like, well, the Oscars, whatever, they'll just kill themselves. It doesn't matter. Anyway, a speculative discussion and a road I wanted to go down, which we had no answers for you, and we might have sounded ill-informed or uneducated on. Congratulations, it's the DG podcast.
I'm very educated.
That being said, as I delay, where's my...
News Dump Online. This is the Distracted Gamers. Connecting you now.
There's news, stuff to go through. It's a news dump. I'm going to start out with Spider-Man. Believe it or not, I might be able to sit down and talk about Spider-Man. This has been a ranty day. It's been a ranty... Brett gets emotional about things, and he needs to get more sleep on his regular life schedule. So, as far as superheroes, I think Spider-Man's probably... I mean, it fluctuates depending on, like, if I'm going from moody edgelord me to hopeful me to, whatever, depending on which... Because it's like, I always loved Spider-Man as a kid. It was always my favorite. And then I kind of, like, got into, high school-ish, and it slowly became sort of like, oh, the Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil's kind of dark and moody Spider-Man, and he's all street level, and he's punching people in the face, and he's makes no apologies. And then you kind of get into Batman, and you're like edgelordy and stuff, and then it's like, well, but hopeful Superman, hopeful Captain America. But Spider-Man's always had like a central role in my heart. I read Spider-Man comics a lot when I was younger. And Spider-Man's always been an interesting character that's... once again, these characters evolve. So it's hard to say, well, this is Spider-Man. What Spider-Man is, and you're getting them wrong. I realize there's expectations, and there's been different versions of these characters. But by and large, Spider-Man has always had a few core things. Spider-Man goes through tragedy, and it motivates what he does in the future. He starts out as fairly selfish of an individual. And then he goes through tragedy, and then it motivates him to do good for good's sake. The Uncle Ben's passing, and
Right.
then a lot of his life is just life being hard. I know Stan Lee said that, you know, he wanted Spider-Man to have normal person problems. And he sort of evolved
Right.
into choosing to do good as Spider-Man makes Peter Parker's life less happy. That it's almost like there's an interim or a thing in the front. And the reason why I'm doing this whole preamble is I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I'm not a huge fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Now, he's funner and quippier, and he's funner for newer generations where it's like, oh, he's doing goofy stuff and he's going to high school and everybody. Classically, Spider-Man was not in high school that long, though everybody imagines Spider-Man
Right.
in high school because every version people see is always the early part of Spider-Man's life. So it's like the cartoon. You had him in high school, and then you had the Tobey Maguire in high school, and then you had the Garfield in high school, and then you had versions of Spider-Man like Ultimate Spider-Man where he's in high school the whole time, that cartoon, and then the comic run. But really, classic Spider-Man, it's just him trying to be a normal guy for most of his run. He's not in high school that long. But his life is mostly miserable. Like, very hard. He goes through really difficult hardships. People in his life die. He struggles to pay rent. And a lot of that's expressed really well through the Sam Raimi films. Like, I really like the Sam Raimi films. I know there's been some disagreement if classic Spider-Man isn't quite as nerdy or whatever in the classic Spider-Man. I prefer nerdy Peter Parker evolving into sort of the Spider-Man you get later. That's my preferred version. Tom Holland's not that. My complaint with Garfield was always he's not nerdy Spider-Man. It's like, and I used to
Right,
have this discussion with the ex where it's like, well, you know, he's awkward. No, he's hot, aloof guy at school. He is not picked on. Nobody likes him. It's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was Garfield's version of Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man's Peter Parker's glasses guy. Everybody bullies. Like 1950s and 60s, they give him wedgies and that sort of thing. Andrew Garfield is like hot, aloof guy at school that all of the girls pine over. like honestly,
Right.
Spider-Man's not supposed to be that hot. He becomes hot because of the being bitten by a radioactive spider. Not genetically enhanced spider, radioactive spider. Because it's important when he gives people radiation poisoning. So that's all. And there was part of the reason why I didn't quite think Tom Holland's character quite fulfilled it. He was like quirky, cool high school kid, and the big problem with his films is he didn't really live with loss or motive. It was just him being quirky guy, and it's like, no, he had difficulties. His difficulties in his movies were every superhero having difficulties in their movies. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be my own man and not live under the shadow of Tony Stark. Oh, my girlfriend's dad is the villain. Okay. Hey, everybody. I get to go to Europe on vacation, and I kind of trust a guy. I shouldn't. Okay. I mean, he really doesn't experience tragedy and loss until 3, and you're the end of his 3rd film. I mean, really, when Aunt May dies. And that's his biggest motivator in his life. It is a major death in his life. Uncle Ben's death. And they don't even give him that until his 3rd damn movie. And so when you watch the new trailer, which came out, which, by the way, it is the highest viewed trailer over a 24-hour period of time of all time.
Wow.
I think
really?
it doubled number 2.
Good Lord.
Number 2 being Daredevil or Deadpool and Wolverine. So
God.
this was devastatingly huge, hot, popular, which also tells you it's like, well, you know, the state of Marvel's not doing good. It's like Spider-Man's doing fine. His 3rd movie did what, $2 billion or whatever. Spider.
Mhm.
I think people are able to like distance Spider-Man from the state of Marvel at this point. And so we get the trailer. What'd you guys think of the trailer?
um,
Um,
as someone who's not seen any of these films, it looks good. I love Michael Mando. I like seeing him in things.
Voss is back.
Uh,
Yeah.
I there's ninjas. Oh,
It's the hand from Daredevil.
oh,
Yeah.
as opposed to the foot from Ninja Turtles.
That's right.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
it made me wonder whether or not they are going to Spider-Man 3 with a kind of an oversaturation of villains and things
Oh.
that we're going to be seeing.
Maybe, but I don't think that's as much an issue anymore. We've had movies with like 20 people in them, and they worked out fine.
Well, they did say there was another video. I didn't watch it, but it came up after I watched the Spider-Man trailer, and it said the 20 people that are confirmed for the Spider-Man Brand New Day. And we've already seen that there's going to be Hulk in it, and we've already seen that there's Punisher in it, and apparently there's going to be a lot. We have Scorpion obviously coming. We've got the Hand. There's
Jean Grey is supposed to
some
be
people
in it.
are thinking, yeah, and there's some people that are thinking that we're also going to be getting Daredevil in it.
No, he's not.
They just haven't shown him.
No, he's not in it.
I'm bringing this up because I've seen this as a rumor online.
Charlie Cox
anyway.
responded to it of, if I was in it, I couldn't tell you, but I'm not in it. He literally said that.
That's awesome. But yeah, I just wonder if we're getting too much.
Well,
one movie.
see, it's not so much. Endgame worked, but they laid the groundwork for Endgame. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not going to poo-poo it because too many villains or too many directions. The problem with Spider-Man 3 wasn't so much the too many characters; it was the unfocused.
Yeah.
This movie can. I don't mind the idea of Spider-Man dealing with other things going on in the background, like other villains still like going around doing shenanigans while he's trying to deal with his bigger threat. I'm not too bothered by that.
I don't mind that either.
And I think audiences
what
are
I'm-
more
what I-
adapted to a lot more complex multi-characters in superhero movies because we've had that many, many times at this point.
I'm just wondering if we're getting that unfocused effect here because they're trying to do too much.
I mean,
all at
maybe we'll have to see when the movie comes out. That's sort of still untold. I would just remind you we had like Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad and Avengers 1, 2, 3, Captain America. Like we've had a lot of movies with multiple characters, good and bad. So I don't consider it necessarily as much of a death sentence as maybe Spider-Man 3's problem at the time. But Spider-Man 3's problem are multifaceted of being too good and too good a representation of Venom.
Venom. Venom.
That's one of those movies are just bad to the point where I like it. As opposed to it's like Dark Knight Rises, it's just not great. And not even great to the point where it's fun. It's just not good. I mean, it could have an unfocused story that's trying to tell villain origin stories like from 5 different characters. And it's possible.
Yeah.
I just don't. We don't know if that's a problem, and they've been able to pull it off with other stuff. So it's just I think the bigger point is it's one of the few movies. I mean, only superhero movie I'm actually looking forward to. Because it looked pretty good, and tonally, it doesn't fit with the previous ones. It feels totally more serious.
Right.
As
Yeah,
opposed to, hey
yeah.
guys, I'm goofy guy in high school. I'm having fun and writing in my Trapper Keeper. It's not that guy. It's a whole
Whoa.
different sort of ball of wax. Now, it
Yeah.
is kind of leaning on the Brand New Day storyline, which was bad in the comic books. So,
Something to remember.
yeah, that's something to remember. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Yeah. It's weird. They might actually fall into finally sort of feeling comfortable in Spider-Man after 4 movies.
Listen, they had to ease into it, all right? Jeez.
Everything needs to be fun and quirky, you guys.
Forever. Always.
It's time to ruin it with Brand New Day.
New Day.
Of course, Brand New Day is the story right after Peter Parker erases his marriage to Mary Jane.
A good choice. I love deals with the devil.
Well, people hated that comic, like hated it. I mean, they hated that. I mean, people hated the Clone series before that, the Clone Saga.
Famously, Rich Evans, who told Joe Quesada to go fuck himself.
Yeah, I need to. The Clone Saga wasn't good, Joe Quesada. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. And I'm going to be honest. I love Venom as a villain. I hate him as a, anti-hero or whatever nonsense you guys turned him into. And then it's like love Maximum Carnage, hate the too many symbiotes in the pot problem where there's like multicolors and they all have different one's poison. Oh, shut up.
You love it.
I mean, let's be honest, Spider-Man they've ruined his character many times through the years.
Oh, how could you? No, Red.
Remember when Spider-Man gave Mary Jane cancer?
Yep.
From his jism?
Do you remember when one of the most emotional points in Spider-Man's life where Gwen Stacy was thrown off the Brooklyn Bridge and then died because Spider-Man caught her and it snapped her neck? And then you find out years later that Norman Osborn impregnated her with his child.
Oh, God.
So he
stupid.
so the hooked up with the underage girl and threw her off a bridge, impregnated with her child.
I had to get rid of the evidence, Spider-Man.
Do you remember that story where Spider-Man was talking to that kid, like who's been going through some problems? And he finds out that the kid's kind of been diddled a little bit, and then Spider-Man relates the story about he was also diddled when he was a kid, and they're like, "Wait a minute, when did that happen?"
Don't worry,
Spider-Man.
we didn't put it in the comics. Don't worry about it.
Remember when Spider-Man grew 6 arms because he started going mutated crazily? People think that might happen in this movie because he's got mutant problems now.
I was going to say, it seemed like they're kind of going that way.
There's a lot of bad directions this story could go. They're not all bangers.
Oh, come on. No, it'll be great.
I like the torn, oh no, Mary Jane doesn't remember me, but I'm going to be tortured guy who's just around and she does. I honestly, it would be more interesting if they just leaned into I was telling Ross earlier, it was like, well, what if, because classically his love interest for a long time in the comics was Gwen Stacy. And then she dies, and then Mary Jane becomes the new love interest. Like, what if you just do it backwards? Mary Jane is gone, and then Gwen Stacy's the new love interest. Like, what if you just do it the other direction?
Please bring in somebody with any sort of charisma, I beg you.
Or personality. Yeah, I don't like MJ in the Tom Holland movies.
No, I don't like her either.
The first, was it Homecoming? The first Tom Holland Spider-Man is my least favorite Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man 3 more than that one. I like Amazing Spider-Man more than that movie. That's right. Andrew Garfield can swing his awkward, quirky self into my, living room anytime. Screw you, Homecoming.
I just don't like that they got Limeys playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm so sick of them stealing her gerbs.
So I don't like it. Yeah, and on top of that, Tom Holland, isn't he like 30 now?
Yeah, he's baby face forever, five ever.
Mm, I don't know about that.
Well, speaking of Timothy Chalamet, because Ross brought up Chalamet.
Old Timmy Tam, yes sir.
Dune 3. I'm already mixed on Dune, the Villeneuve
They definitely make it
version.
still cinematic in the trailer.
Yeah, they're visually interesting to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
where is he? What's his goal with this next one?
Well, this one's Dune Messiah.
This is right. This is supposed to be the ending of the trilogy. So is this you're ending the story here and not implying that there's anything past this?
Oh,
Because
I hope this makes $1 billion and they try to make the one with the worm guy.
Well, then you have to have Children of Dune.
Yeah.
With the psychotic, little girl who sees future and crazy child, and then you turn it into God Emperor, where little Leto turns into giant, horrifying God Emperor face man.
Who has weird things going on with the Duncan Idaho clone. Oh, spoilers for a 50-year-old book, by the way.
Well, because I've been mixed on my reaction to it. I'm classically somebody who really enjoys Dune the stories, but Dune goes goofy and weird after the first one.
Oh yeah, it does.
So, because the theory, how it's presented in the book, is that Paul makes certain decisions because this is the only direction that things could go to stop inevitable disaster that's going to happen in the future. Because he's a Kwisatz Haderach and he can see the future. He has the power that the
Bene Gesserit.
The Bene Gesserit have.
Yeah.
So he's the fabled person that can actually see into the future. So theoretically, this was the only path forward. Now, if we metagame this, Frank Herbert wrote this as a criticism of JFK, a charismatic person that's going to bring destruction upon us all.
Right.
Because he was not a wide-eyed Camelot believing guy in JFK. This was his sort of interpretation of JFK. So there's been speculation of people who love the books because Paul and then Leto can see the future, and if this was the only way to save mankind, though horrific, because Paul ends up perpetrating a galactic jihad that brings about horror and death upon the galaxy across the board as he marches the Fremen into everybody's homes and murders mercilessly across the galaxy. And so it's speculated that even though he saw the future as this is the only solution, it might be an incorrect reading of the future insofar as it's the future he wants or the future he concludes is the only way to bring about the outcome he wants, sort of thing. That
Right.
how much can we really trust the foresight of these two people? Because Leto believes it later when he becomes the God Emperor worm. And Paul sets it in motion. But because Herbert is writing this cynically, you might conclude that all of the horror and destruction might just be the vanity view of one future that he thinks is true, but there were possibly other outcomes. You see where I'm getting with this?
Sure,
Yeah.
I
Might not be the only one. It's just the one that he felt was the most advantageous
Sure.
for him and humanity.
or like just because he saw it doesn't mean that's all that there was. It's just the one he saw.
Sure.
Right.
It's just the channel he was on per se. Can I read something I saw on Twitter because it made me laugh?
Uh-huh.
Because it's about specifically Herbert and JFK and all that stuff. And it's this guy on Twitter saying, one of my favorite theories is that Dune reflects the paleocon ex-Catholics' resentment of JFK. The Bene Gesserit, the nuns he hated growing up, had been preparing the way for a charismatic young Catholic president for decades. Oh no, my timer. I can no longer get on Twitter. Never mind. I'll read it next time. Sorry, everybody. I knew I should have taken that screenshot.
I mean, it's a funny conspiracy that it's this Catholic. We did hear from him. It's kind of a JFK allegory, but as far as the secret Catholic commentary of nuns raising up JFK to be the new Messiah to rule America and bring about World War III.
Truly, it will happen, inshallah.
I just don't know if Villeneuve is going to be apt enough to play out the subtleties of possibility of what he might have been bringing up as sort of allegorically. Because it's like the natural conclusion is, well, Paul's right and he's trying to save the universe. But in reality, you're supposed to think, actually, he's bringing about a horrific destruction.
Which ends up happening.
Well, right, it ends up happening, but I never thought about it at the time. I was like, well, I mean, he's the chosen one. They have to die because it's the chosen one. I never thought of like, well, maybe he's wrong. It's like, but he saw the future, and it's like, but maybe he's wrong. I don't know.
As I recall, and this might be something that I'm recalling incorrectly, but as I recall, Paul didn't want to have the jihad. He wanted to avoid that, but he felt that he was being pushed into it, and he ended up going into that because that would have minimized the catastrophe.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be read into Dune where that's not the direction or life he wanted, and it ended up the inevitability of it.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, he can't avoid his destiny.
That's kind of what I remember too, Jason, is that like initially he sees it, wants to avoid it, but then as he tries to avoid it, he'll see flashes of what happens if he does avoid it, and it's worse.
It's way worse.
Or leads to his family
so.
completely wiped out.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember. It's been a few years, so
It's
it could be
what's
off.
trillions of people to make sure my mom and sister survive.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. My weird sister.
I went native with Chani, and my brown girlfriend has got to stick around. It seems like they made up really quickly after her being beefed at the end of number 2. So,
which she shouldn't have been anyway.
No, because she wasn't. She fully believed in what he was doing because she bought into the fantasy, the whole thing.
You know, and the problem is, like, because even in this trailer, I'm sorry, Zendaya is such a charisma vacuum.
Yeah, I don't understand her.
She's a black hole of interest or charisma or any sort of a positive feeling. And I like nothing against her personally. God bless her. She's getting a lot of money and work. I hope it works out great for her.
Her and Tom Holland are now married too.
They are. I do not understand the appeal in any way.
No.
I really don't. There's some roles I've seen that she's been in and like images from it, like, oh sure, yeah. But all the stuff she's been in that's like the big stuff, your Spider-Man, your Dune, why? I do not get it. There's not been a Mary Jane who isn't insufferable in some way on film, has there?
Yeah, who's not weirdly self-centered in an odd way.
Yeah, like what the hell?
But me though. Well, I gotta save people. But me though.
Yeah, well, what about? It's always about you, Peter. I really want it to be about me.
You want me to just stand there and watch those kids die? I mean, like I can do that.
But my play.
Their blood's on your hands, Mary Jane.
But my play.
But my play, Peter. Why aren't you ever going to be here for me? Well, wasn't the thing in 3 the whole? Well, 2 he missed her play because they wanted to get together. But it's like, oh, something came up. But when she understands who he is, and she's still kind of like, you're never there for me, and it's like, so you just want me to let people die? Like, you know the deal now. Just
Right.
I'll show up to your play and then just whisper in your ear afterwards. The play was great, honey. 5 people are dead because of this.
I hope you're happy.
I hope you're happy, Mary Jane. You selfish bint.
Yeah, she does suck. I don't know.
well.
This movie's interesting. Dune is weird for me. I didn't see the previous 2. I wanted to. I ended up having to be on call for a previous job when the original plan to go see the first one in theaters was.
Yeah.
And after that, I was just kind of like, because I always heard like, oh, it's so good in the theater, and it's like, well, oh well. Plus, I have a really, I don't know if I like Denis Villeneuve. He's made some movies I like.
He's made some movies I've hated.
Yeah, I think he might be a bit of an overrated dick.
That French Mystique or whatever.
Yeah, and people blow him, especially online. And it's just like, I mean, look, he's made some good movies. I really like Sicario. I don't know about anything else, because some of his other stuff's real fucking boring.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever want to go down that curiosity route, we can just watch Dune next time you're in town.
All right. I'm down to clown.
He is a member of the Clown Posse.
That's right, the insane clown posse.
Out of the blue, PlayStation has decided to retire the terms PlayStation Network and PSN for its official online service.
But why?
After years,
Let's
it's
get
no
rid
longer.
of some names and products that everybody recognizes, even people who don't have a PlayStation. That sounds like a great idea.
Well, especially because it's the one branch of their company that makes money. It's PlayStation.
No, they're just retiring the brand PlayStation
So
Network.
weird. Yeah, I know. It's just, but it's like that's. But you know, I guess Xbox kind of did it with Xbox Live. Sort of.
Yeah.
You know, now it's just Game Pass.
I would say that's also a poor decision.
Yeah, oh, me too.
Xbox Live is a perfect choice. Well, I mean, how many names did HBO go through?
Oh God, their app 1 billion.
Chuck Norris has passed.
No.
The great hero, the great meme hero, Chuck Norris.
Yep.
Before we get into the idiocy of the internet, he was no Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was more of like the B tier. But
Yeah.
there was a charm to his goofy movies, and he famously was in the big, Bruce Lee movie that made it big in the West.
Yep.
He was the big guy that fought him, and he was chosen specifically because he could fight. Because unlike Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was an actual guy who fought and won championships.
Mhm.
He did Walker Texas Ranger for years and years, and that was a thing that everybody was in love with forever. And yeah, it's a real bummer. He became really famous later on in life because of his silly memes.
Yeah, that's some early millennial internet humor there.
Yeah. What was the I saw a video of him in Iraq talking to the troops, and somebody did the joke or whatever, and he goes, well, everybody, I was going to shave before I came out here, but I was going to have to use a rock because my beard's too mighty. But when I went to go use the rock begged me not to use it because of my beard was too great. And everyone's like, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down. Anyway.
That's right.
Chuck Norris is amazing. Unfortunately, now is the time to be bitter and political because he kind of leans politically in another direction than what you approve of. I mean, I don't need to go into another rant of can't we just live in the same world without demeaning other people that might lean politically away from us? I mean, I don't want to make it about us. I don't agree with Rob Reiner on almost anything political. But Rob Reiner's a great director, and no one wants to dunk on a guy when he passes because that's not classy and it's a moral thing to do. It's just kind of a crappy thing to do. It's unfortunate Chuck Norris has passed. Now everybody's like, yeah, but politically, I mean...
Well, he was a Zionist, so he can go fuck himself.
Well, Chuck Norris wasn't even that majorly outspoken politically.
Not really.
He
Not
was
that
just
I ever
kind
remember.
of right-wing.
Yeah.
So now, let's expose ourselves to horrific comments about Chuck Norris, everybody. Glad to see us at the top. I will laugh at some of the jokes. But F him, no such thing as a good MAGA.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Good riddance, you evil SOB. Cue the show some decency cries from the right. You have to include a slur of some sort when you cheer for death, so you can claim it's just a joke, snowflake. They could show decency first.
Oh my gosh.
Rest in piss. Yet another person who needs to shut the F up and ride nostalgia into the sunset, but oh no. F this Trumper. Classy.
Very.
Good. F that weird ass POS. F off Nazi supporting shithead.
What the
1,000 years of darkness for Chuck then, I guess.
Good Lord.
Bye. F the fascist POS. Thanks, Internet.
Thank you. God, the internet's so classy.
Good Lord. Man, you guys are good people, aren't you?
Really good people.
Yep.
Yeah, this is why we can't live together. This is why. we can't.
Really nice bunch.
If we demonize each other like this, we can't live together. We'll never get along.
It's not so good.
Let's see. I would go through this really quickly. Copilot's apparently just been a mess for Windows 11, creating terrible AI bloated crap, and so they've kind of paused their AI Copilot rollout with Windows 11 because it's caused a lot of drama and negativity.
Oh, thank God.
And you might go, oh, great. Well, a day or two ago, Xbox is going to roll out a Copilot potentially attached to the Xbox where you can ask it for help and questions as the AI helps you out while you're playing a game.
Please don't.
Copilot in everything, Ross. Everywhere.
Thanks, I hate it.
Well, we now know what the new Firefly is going to be, and it's animated like everybody predicted.
Yep.
Bum, 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 bum.
And it's funny, somebody asked him, it was like, well, why don't you do something after Serenity? And he was like, well, because Wash is dead.
What do you mean, why?
But it's
We
funny,
know that
Alan
Wash is
Tudyk,
dead.
Alan Tudyk was literally like, well, we'll just call this Wash is available time period. As opposed to Alan Tudyk can't be a part of it. And they must have felt like, well, we need to have him be a part of it because he's a part of Firefly. Yada. Like, I get it. I just, all of this is too late.
Yeah. It's weird. On one hand, animated is the only thing that makes sense at this point. But then it's just baffling. It's like, dude, we are like, I mean, practically 20 years late here. Like, actually, genuinely 20 years late.
Yeah.
What are we doing? This is a day late and $1 short by like a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a Joss Whedon fan.
Yeah,
I don't blow him, but he kind of needs to be a part of it because he knows how to write it.
Mm.
but he's not. Anyway,
I,
Jason.
I'm not thinking that this is gonna have legs.
It's just, oh, yeah. Whatever.
Cool.
This is what fans been begging for forever. A cartoon.
Absolutely.
Sweet, you guys. Sarah Michelle Gellar hopes that new Sunnydale pilot doesn't leak and urges fans not to read the script. The script is leaked online, and
No.
it's really bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, genuinely terrible. So we might have dodged a bullet with the cancellation of Buffy Sunnydale.
So sad.
I am not a Buffy fan. I feel
Say I was
nothing.
too young, so I didn't really see it. And by the time I was old enough to watch those, like any TV on my own kind of a thing, Firefly was a thing, and if I was going to watch a Joss Whedon show, it'd be that, and I did.
My assessment was always, this is for prepubescent girls.
Yeah, like I always remember hearing about Buffy, but like I said, I was too young to watch it, and then when I was old enough, I didn't want to watch that.
Yeah, it's not for me.
No.
I think I was right in the right window for that. And the few episodes that I caught, they were okay, but there wasn't enough there to keep me coming back. I think I would have liked Angel more as a series, but I only caught a
Yeah,
couple
the
episodes.
name
of that
Angel
too.
alone would have kept me away. Just too girly. I mean, my
Yeah.
sister was obsessed with it, and it just everything signaled not for me. Now I've heard from people like grown men, oh, it's written so well, and yet, I mean, maybe still not interested.
Ain't happening, pal.
I mean, I like the movie, but it was like 80s, 90s silliness of killing vampires with the
Yeah,
sexy
yeah.
cheerleader. Like, that was fun. Anyway, moving on. Ross, what's going on with Taylor Frankie Paul? Ross, our resident expert of
Oh
The
God.
Bachelorette or whatever.
So, okay. Well, there's a show called, well, there's two shows. One's The Bachelorette. The other one is called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Uh-huh. I know an ad.
So, Bachelorette's been a thing for a long time now, but I think ratings are not what they used to be. I mean, God, it's a 20-some-odd-year-old show now, I think. And so there is a show called Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which documents the, I guess for lack of a better term, lives of these women who call themselves Mormon, but I don't think they are anymore, if they ever were. They just happen to live in Utah.
Right.
And it's just them being dramatic morons. The kind of head moron was this gal named Taylor Frankie Paul. She was chosen to be the new Bachelorette, probably thinking because of the popularity of Secret Lives, this would be a bump for Bachelorette. And I want to point out, Bachelorette's an ABC show, also on Hulu, of course, whereas Secret Lives is just on Hulu. And that's all underneath the Disney umbrella. Now, they'd finished filming Secret Lives in like Halloween time. And then they picked up filming Bachelorette like November. So it was like she went from the one show right to the other. God, do you want me to get into any of the drama, or do you just want me to stick with the big drama? Because there's a lot of hilarious
because we are a
things.
podcast that revolves around this lady's career. No. just
Because
pop
I
culture
could tell you-
show canceled, blah blah blah.
Gotcha. Well, they have filmed the entirety of the show. I think post production's done on 2 or 3 episodes, and then it comes out publicly. Although there's conversation about how much people knew behind the scenes. A body cam footage, or actually a cell phone footage of Taylor, Ms. Paul, being in a domestic violence situation with her significant other / baby daddy that she's on again, off again with, where she hucks a chair, misses him, and hits her own child. Yeah, this is back in 23. I'm assuming Draper Police are the ones that released it. But it's funny, even in season 1, women were mentioning this in the Secret Live show, so it's a thing that they knew about. Anyway, this has come out. People are unhappy. It's a whole big drama. I mean, it looks really bad. It'd be bad enough if she just hit her man. But she didn't hit her man. She hit her own child, having a fucking temper tantrum trying to hit this dude. So, they initially were like weren't sure what to do. They kind of paused it. Now they've canceled that whole season of Bachelorette, which, by the way, is like $1 million or $2 million an episode. But I think before post production.
And they canceled the entire season?
Yeah, so far that's what they're sticking with. We'll see how long. I'm curious. And they've put on hold the next season of Secret Lives because of this. So it's quite the disaster for ABC. And I guarantee you there are CEOs / producers screaming at each other underneath that Disney umbrella right now.
The loss of money for Bachelorette. I mean, good night.
Well, because the ABC guys are like, well, what the hell? Why didn't you tell us? And the Hulu guys are going like, well, we did tell you, and you did it anyway.
There have been some articles like they knew she was a mess.
Oh, dude. I've not seen a lot of this show. I've literally seen a few bits and pieces of the last episode of the latest season, just because my friend was catching me up. And all you have to do is watch her, and like she is nuts. Like she is genuinely crazy. Holy God. And just her behavior has been like this for years. So, but see, that's, they want, not the child hitting with a chair, but they want the dramatic, stupid bachelorette that will cause problems for these dudes.
Yeah, especially on these reality TV shows. If they don't have a big personality to go with it, why are you watching the show?
Yeah, like, because especially at this point in the Bachelorette's run, it's been a show for a long time now. So they, you need something to pump ratings up. So
yeah,
and it bit them right in the ass.
You can't just have normal, decent people on your show here.
No, they're boring.
That wouldn't bring in the crowds.
I need the BPD toxic psycho. That's what I need. That looks like a troll doll.
Women don't want to watch normal people have normal conversations. Well, it looks like D&D is not doing great, and they've brought back not Gary Gygax, but Luke Gygax, I believe his son.
Oh. Okay.
Basically classic guys who are part of the franchise for years and years, which sort of belies the issue of D&D's not doing well and they want you to come back, but the reputation's kind of already been damaged at this point. D&D's become, look, for better or worse, like I get the LGBTQ likes the brand, but
and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's become the LGBTQ role-playing thing, and
right.
We had a nice person that wanted to discuss the issue with me after reacting to our video, and it was like, I would prefer if they just made fantasy, and if you include that in your own role-playing, then you do that. But when you make it so explicit and aggressive in all of the advertising and the artwork and the yada yada yada, then it's just like, oh well, then no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to participate. And so by all means, turn it into the LGBTQ leaning role playing thing. I just won't participate. And you go, well, we don't need you. It's like, well, you do apparently, because you've lost a lot of people, and D&D is bringing back old school guys to help engineer re-interest, because they've scared everybody away except for the group they pandered to. I mean, by and large, when it comes to role playing, the people that were in D&D basically just left to other role playing games. This is essentially what happened. They exodus, and they're probably never coming back. Like, people have these brands, these historic brands, and they act like, well, it's just D&D's the thing. Everybody goes to D&D. It's the only place to go. And it's like, it's not the only place to go. Right. I could play old D&D or I can go somewhere else. I'm not trapped by you.
Yep. And that's something we've harped on more than we probably should, that, you can't pander to one audience and expect your core loyalists to stay if they're not part of that audience. It just doesn't work that way.
Dan Slott, a veteran Marvel writer, has gone public with an urgent plea for fans and comic book shops to support his new Spectacular Spider-Man Brand New Day series, warning that low orders could kill the book as early as issue 5. You don't deserve it. If it's not good, I'm not reading it. And it doesn't seem like I'm going to like it, so no. But I left comics years ago. The thing is,
if he's sitting there saying, this could kill this by book 5, that's not a plea that that's going to move me.
Well,
but please,
to me,
I'm an artist.
That's a waste of breath there.
Well, it reminds me...
Make a good story.
It reminds me of Maggie talking about how it's like, well, if you don't support women writers, then we won't get more. And it's like, well, you act like it's some sort of cause where I'm supposed to just support women directors just because we have some sort of gyno, like club or something where we're just all the women are supposed to flood to support her because women, not because it's good or I agree with the politics or I even like it or even like horror or Frankenstein. None of that, but because women. And it's almost like, support my thing, because if they don't, it'll go away. And it's like, well, how come your argument isn't, it's a great story, guys. Get out, I hope you like it. Give it a shot. I wrote some really good story. No, it's like, support it because.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one supposed to go away. You're supposed to sell me this book. Okay, don't just I'm supposed to care if it goes away.
Exactly.
You should care, because art and comics, but...
For the sake of art.
Make it worth my while.
An infamous localizer by the name of Katrina Leondodakis. Something foreign. Anyway, she has some interesting, awful things to say. She's a localizer for anime, and she's worked on video game companies and stuff. And she says on Twitter, if you are a fan and want to do something to pressure companies into paying for union actors and good translation, bully them. Send emails shaming them, commenting how you will never buy their game again, call their customer support line. The louder you are, the faster companies will change. I mean, let's set aside the moral ethic issue brought up here of bullying people. Who believes so much in your localizing that I feel I have to turn it into a cause to make sure that you get to localize and change the content written by somebody else to fit your current political leanings and your current political ideology? Like, at what point is it my responsibility to march the streets to support you screwing up somebody else's art?
Yeah.
Like, excuse me.
At this point right now, what do you mean?
Like,
obviously,
I don't think people care enough about you for that.
Yeah. Your job is first social justice warrior, second localizer. And whatever your politics is, you're mistaken if you think that that's the priority that you should be giving here in this situation.
Bully them.
Bully them. Scare those Japanese companies. Make them do what we want. Damn it.
You're already
What's gonna
ruining the
happen
stuff
is-
you are writing for.
Yeah. What's going to happen is you're going to lose your job, and more companies are, as we've pointed out on this very podcast, they're going to use AI to replace you. Because if you can't get the job done to their satisfaction, they're going to replace you.
Well, if anything, I'm more motivated to call the customer support for companies that do hire you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire.
Encouraging
fire
them to get rid of you because you're an awful person for encouraging people to bully.
Please.
You're a bad person. You're just a bad person. Immoral and scummy.
No, I have the right ideas, therefore I am always correct.
Oh, well then, if that's the case, go ahead.
Do whatever you want, forever.
My mistake. All right. An issue that's been bopping up the internet. It's a big deal. I'm not going to cover a lot of it because I haven't gone down the rabbit hole super deep. NVIDIA has released a AI technology for their video card generation, the image generation, called DLSS5. And DLSS5 essentially uses AI to enhance and upgrade images that it's rendering.
Interesting. Okay.
Digital Foundry, the, I guess, internet publication, got a hold of some of this stuff early from NVIDIA so they could look into it and talk about it.
All right.
They looked into it, which resulted, and they had favorable responses to. They said it looks really good of what they're able to do. It sparked off a firestorm of confusion, skepticism, and outrage that shows generative AI being used to achieve more photorealistic lighting and also yassifying the faces of game characters. Digital Foundry was one of the outlets that had an advanced preview of the tech, and it shared a video breakdown that was positive on the potential of DLSS5, even as most of the internet was dunking on it. As a result, people have attacked Digital Foundry with excessive amounts of death threats and vindictiveness for saying something positive of something that they had a positive response to. I'm going to tell you right now, sure, I get it. Everybody's got a negative perception of AI. It might improve certain things, but what do they call it? The yassifying of everybody's becoming like overly hot version, amalgamated girl sort of thing.
Yeah.
I understand not liking the technology, there's possibilities for it to be positive. I don't have, because on the left, if you see this image, is it's off and it's on. And it does add details and what have you. I'm not so scared of AI that it's like, oh no, it's doing everything and it's slop or whatever. You can use it for what you can use it in, and it's going to be a part of things. I also understand the argument of I don't like it because because consider on the left, this is artist created, and then this is just AI improving it over the artist creation.
Yeah.
It's just imagine AI sexifying Mona Lisa or something.
Very sexy.
And there's just a lot of negative reaction to it, and apparently very violent and virulent negative perceptions of even having a positive response to DLSS5 to the point where they're threatening murder and death upon somebody that said that they liked it. I can't say firsthand much experience on anything, but good Lord, people.
Crazy.
Maybe it's stupid. I also have a slightly negative, but I'm not afraid of AI. It's whether it's good or not. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, it will be no matter what.
I mean, it is inevitable, much like Thanos. AI will snap and half of us will die. So we'll have to see where it goes, but the negativity has been, look, if justified, excessive. Excessive to a ridiculous degree. I can't comment on if it's good or not. This is literally my reaction to that image. And that's it. Sweet.
I don't know.
When
There's
you
a lot
first
of
see
like
that
questions, mostly because some of it we just don't have answers to at all yet. I worry this is just going to further bloat requirements for games. I worry that, I don't know, like it could be the death of art style for games too.
Yeah.
Because like, well, whatever, it'll fill in the gaps.
It's
I
a
don't
bit of a
care.
no-brainer, isn't it?
I mean, it does kind of add something.
I don't know if it's better though.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously somewhat subjective. I mean, it's better in some ways, like detail and shading and whatnot, and it's not good in other ways. It kind of poofs her lips a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe buttons up her nose. But I mean, I can see it improving things like lighting, improving things like textures. I mean, those are possibilities. But then again, it's like, well, so then who gets credit for the art created? Because the guy created, then AI just spooged over the top.
Just lathered it on there, brother.
I mean, there's a theoretical scenario where AI can have an enhancement effect in video rendering technology, but
Sure.
I'm sure there are questions to ask. It's just, yeah, apparently the internet's real upset. I'm just reporting.
I'm angry.
They're real upset, Ross. I'm just saying they're really upset.
And I'm going to send death threats to a publication, goddammit.
How dare you have a favorable response to, like even if they're wrong,
It's crazy.
is that a rational response to them being wrong?
Yes!
I'm unhappy about opinions you expressed.
How dare you?
Screw you guys. Anyway, we've had a special podcast. This is not your political podcast where we have excessive conversations about the world at large. In the past, when there have been major world events, I've sat and be like, yeah, it's going to be fine, sort of thing. I think I would like to leave you guys with this. Don't give up. Things will get better. And hopefully, we Kessel run the crap out of that Strait of Hormuz. I mean, that's how you make a name for yourself. I mean, really.
I used to say Rhett's trying to make a name for himself.
Look, I just like the idea of gunning it. Just weaving in and out of the... Put me
Rhett's
in charge
just
of one
on
of
the
those...
bridge of some oil tanker with like an 18th century admiral's hat. Big poofy feathers.
Forward!
Full steam ahead.
They will speak of us for years to come.
Sitting there with the little whistle. The
I literally
Just over and
explode
over
like
again.
5 feet into the area.
Drat.
It's like I'm Cartman, and I was like, "They did it, guys! Pirates are back. We're heading to Somalia."
Somalian pirates we.
All right, well, we better end this podcast. I appreciate you guys joining us. We're here every Saturday. Enjoy the videos later and the clips that Jason puts up. We will get out of here. Goodbye and
Bless you all.
outro.
If you like the show, follow Rhett, Jason, Ross, and Silver, the world's most lethally stupid internet personalities, on Twitter at DG Podcast or on Instagram at Distracted Gamers. If you liked or hated what you heard here today, you can email them at thedistractedgamers@gmail.com and share your feelings. Not that Jason would care, since he hasn't any, of course.